No Lily today as well. She can be looking after the ship. Okay, let's get started. So, last session, you guys were in the Eye of the Allfather, and upon exiting, you were met by a red dragon named Cloth, one of the oldest and most powerful dragons in existence. However, he did not approach you all as an enemy, rather an ally, an unexpected ally. He came bearing gifts, a handful of dragon cultists, and a flat balloon for the airship. Flat, but in good condition. Told you that you can use the balloon and use his cultists to help try and stop the giant threat. Dragons and giants have been enemies for tens of thousands of years, so it's only natural that the dragons will not be too happy about this giant upheaval. You guys made your way from the Eye of the Allfather, you swung by the Great Worm Cavern, picked up your air elemental, went back to Fell Pass, and with a bit of work, you guys were able to restore the airship, which the cultists aptly named it the airship of the Dragon Cult. They painted it on the side of the airship in bold letters. After getting a bit of a tour, you guys then were free to travel anywhere you want. You can clear about 100 miles a day with the airship. And you guys decided to head to Citadel Felbar, a dwarven fortification, and it's also a part of Roderick's quest. That's why you're going there. So the quest was given to him by Gelrin Fohammer, one of the survivors from the attack on Tribor. It's Tribor, right? It's Tribor. So Gelrin wrote Roderick a letter of recommendation, which is actually here. I think I actually forgot to give you the handout for it, but it basically entitles you for an audience. Oh no, that's a different letter of recommendation. That's the one that Tamerlane promised you guys. But anyway, don't read that because you don't have that. Well, you can read it, but you can read it and wish that you had it. Either way, you don't have it. But Tamerlane's probably still there waiting for you guys. Or maybe she's dead. Maybe the trolls got to her. Anyway, you've got a letter of recommendation, and you've been suggested, Roderick, to present it to King Morin or Queen Tithmel. Now, the previous king of Citadel Felbar had actually recently fallen in the campaign to reclaim Gauntle Grim. So the royal couple are now recently in charge of Citadel Felbar. Now, as a dwarf, you know about Citadel Felbar. It's a very formidable dwarven fortress city, and it lies beneath the Rovin Mountains. Now, to actually enter the place, you're going to have to land and go on foot. So you guys have I think it was a bit of a stormy weather today. Yeah, the weather's not very nice, but the airship can still fly through it, and you guys land at the base of the Rovin Mountains. And you see a road, a very, very long road, cut straight into the mountainside. So you've all got off the airship. Lily's staying at the airship with the cultists to keep an eye on things. You've just landed out on a field, and it's kind of cold. Actually, it's still quite chilly. It's not as bad as, you know, being up in the spine of the world. You don't need your cold weather clothes anymore, but it's still very, very chilly. So as you approach the mountains, you see this road cut through the mountains, and there is like 100-foot high cliff on both sides of a very narrow path. And you just make your way through this path. It sort of winds around, it switches back, goes up and down, and it flows in between the cliffs. And you travel for several miles. It's been a couple of hours now. It's still fairly early in the morning. You're all traveling through, and atop some of these cliff sides, you see dwarven archers with crossbows looking down at you. And when they spot Roderick, they don't question you all. They're quite far away as well, so you just notice there is it's very defendable, this area. So about 30 minutes later, you arrive at this enormous gate, and there are two wide parapets with crenellated battlements called North Vigil and South Vigil standing outside the gates on the nearby mountainsides. And there are heavy ballista pointed straight down at the gates right towards you guys, and at least 50 or so dwarves in defensible positions all around you. There is a dwarf sitting atop one of these parapets at the first gate, and you can just see his brushy beard and a helm. You can't even really see his face. It's like the helm and the beard just conceals everything. Much of the dwarves are wearing plate mail as well. Most of them are wearing very heavy armor. And one of them just calls down, "Who are you?" And his voice booms and echoes along all of the cliff faces.
Is he asking in Dwarvish or?
Yeah, he speaks in Dwarvish, and you feel like it's directed at you, Roderick.
Yep. Okay. I'm Roderick, and I have a letter of recommendation from Tamerlane. Actually, no, not that one. Galvarin.
Ah!
Galvarin. Oh, Hammer.
Don't know that name, but I'm as sure as Merlin's hammer that ye a dwarf. Come on through with your entourage, brother. And they start winding these enormous gates up. You hear the sound of cogs turning and chains clinking. The gate itself is about 80 feet tall. It raises up, and you guys just feel so small with these gigantic fortifications surrounding you. 100-foot high cliffs on either side of you as you continue meandering through this narrow little pathway deep into the mountainside. Everything is made from stone, and you see large catapult stones piled up as well on nearby cliff faces. And you follow that road until it ends at Rune Gate, which is the main entrance to the underground city. And you can see signs with arrows, and it's all written in Dethic, in the Dwarvish script. There is different locations. There's an arrow with the word mines to your left, an arrow with the name Underdark facing to your right and down, and then there is a couple of different arrows pointing towards Mithril Hall and Citadel Adbar. And Roderick, as a dwarf to the north, you know that these dwarven fortifications are interconnected by underground tunnels. Also, you'd heard that Citadel Felbar has fallen to orcs twice in its long history. So even such an impressive fortification cannot even keep out orcs. That's how fierce they can be sometimes, but it's been reclaimed and rebuilt by the dwarves each time. And the great hero King Emerus Warcrown, who restored it to its former glory during the War of the Silver Marches, died shortly after the war while helping his fellow dwarves to reclaim Gauntle Grim. And since Emerus's death, leadership of the Felbaron dwarves has fallen to Emerus's distant king, King Morin. Sorry, not distant king, distant kin. King Morin and Queen Tithmil, the two monarchs that they rule very wisely as equals. So you get to the rune stone gate, and the dwarven guards there give you the same spiel. However, this time there is large stone staircases cut into the cliff face, and this is what the entrance looks like over here on this lovely artwork that you're seeing. You're at the base of these stairs. There's actually a giant waterfall cascading down, flowing into an underground stream. It just seems to tip into a massive cavity, falling straight underground. So this time, yeah, they call out from atop this fortification, and a dwarf, a stubby little Felbaron dwarf. He takes about 10 minutes to climb down these stairs, just hobbling along. As he gets closer, you hear him grunting. Finally, he reaches you guys, and he's about 3 feet tall, and he's almost about 3 feet wide. Again, you can't really make out the details of his face. It's a male shield dwarf, and he's got bright, bushy red beard. But his eyebrows, they stick out from his helm, and he sort of scrutinizes you all. State your business, he says in Dwarvish.
We're here to see, to gain an audience with either King Morin or Queen Tithmel. We have a letter of recommendation.
May I see it, brother?
Certainly. Pull it out.
He carefully takes it out of your hands, and he gets his rough-looking tongue, pokes it out, and swipes his thumb over his tongue. You can almost hear the traction from his tongue as it slides along his rough-looking thumb, and he unravels the scroll. And he just makes a few sort of grunting noises as he inspects it. Kind of reads it under his breath. All the while, you've got this cascade of water just bounding down quite close to you guys, and you can feel the spray of it washing over you all, and it's quite cold. Everything's in order here. Off you come. And the dwarf takes you straight up the stairs. There's a small entry cut into one of these stone support beams for the fortification, and it serves as one of the first entrances. You head on through, you see a lot of dwarven guards standing by. Some of them are sitting around at stone tables drinking, and others are just chiseling out new tunnels. You head into these gigantic adamantine doors that are open, but you can see many dwarves flanking the door, and it could be very quickly shut in the case of an attack. You head on through to this sprawling dwarven city. There are stone ramps going up and down, and the open area when you first enter Citadel Felbar is a smooth-hewn chamber which is like hundreds of feet on a side. It's enormous. There are tunnels. You see dwarves pushing mine carts, wearing mining helms, pickaxes slung over their shoulder, heading in and out of these maze-like tunnels. And if you're not following this single dwarf, then you'd probably get lost very, very quickly. You can even see small shops, and there's smithies, and it's a full-on functioning city in here. So eventually you're told to wait on some stone benches out the front of a kingly-looking doorway. Wait here! And you wait for a little while. You wait for a little while longer. And finally, another dwarf dressed in some golden trimmed brown robes opens the doors. King Morin and Queen Tithmel. We'll see you. And you take.
Excellent.
He nods at you. Hey. Takes you in to this throne room where there are stone pillars flanking a very, very large hall. It's a 50-foot high ceiling. And at the very end of the hall, there's a dwarf sitting on a stone throne. And you expect to see a crown or something like that. No crown. He's just wearing some light clothing. He's got a couple of advisors by his side. Big brown bear sleeping by his feet. You don't see Queen Tithmel.
Bear is Queen Tithmel.
One of the advisors, the guy on the left, the brown beard, the bald head, speaks to you. You're in the presence of the Dwarven King of Citadel Felbar. You're in the presence of King Morin, Slayer of Dragons, Quarry of Stone, forged by Moradin. State your business.
I'll begin with Hail King Morin. I am Roderick. I was sent with a letter of recommendation from Gelrin Fohammer.
I've seen the letter, the king says. He leans to one side of his stone throne.
Yep. Funnily enough, we haven't seen the letter ourselves. But I assume it's good things.
You come well recommended, brother. Been having a bit of tiff with giants, have you?
We've been travelling all over, seeing what we can do to quell their unrest.
Says here you defended Tribor from fire giants and orcs.
That's true. We weren't completely successful, but...
Well, I welcome you, brother. True. Welcome to Citadel Felbar.
Thank you kindly.
He looks over at one of his advisors, the older dwarf with white hair. Well, what are you waiting for? Get them some ale! Yes, my king. And this elderly dwarf quickly goes over and there's just like a flat stone wall behind the king's throne. He places his hands on the wall and pushes it. It clicks in, and then the stone whoosh, slides across on stone rollers that are very well oiled, so much that they don't even make a sound. And there's just a fully stocked brewery in here. Ale barrels, flagons, spiggins, and the advisor slowly fills you up a copper flagon full of ale. The flagon itself actually has a smiling dwarf's face beaten into it, and it's very good ale. The king takes one as well, and he gives one, make sure both of the advisors have one, so everyone has one. And then they fill up a copper bowl, and they place it down next to the bear. The bear opens one eye, and his giant tongue starts slurping up the ale as well. He scritches it behind the ear. The Queen's received disturbing reports of fire giant sightings in the hills to the northwest. The giant still concern you, brother?
Yeah. Concerns, well, we've dealt with quite a few so far. Depends what kind of concern you mean. We'd be happy to help deal with them.
The sort of concern that should extend to here. Dozens of mere men have gone missing up in the mountains. Dozens of our brothers, brother.
Oh. Certainly then.
But that's just the tip of the slag, Berg. I've been told that the giants might be in the process of reigniting the ancient underground forge known as Iron Slag.
Right. And, well, we did see them gathering artifacts that seem to be, well, ancient of some sort, so...
Artifacts? What artifacts?
What was it? It was a big disc thing in one city, and fire giants digging for things, trying to carry them off.
The advisor whispers something to the king. The king nods. You bring troubling news, brother. The giants could very well be gathering parts for a colossal titan known as the Vonadod. A world-shattering construct, taller than the tallest peak of one of me walls, Citadel Felbar. Fire giants have been known for their expertise in forging and smithing, second to none only by dwarves. We are beyond first to none, brother. And you're hunting giants?
That's true. We have been for probably a couple months now.
Then, brother, I requested of ye that ye investigate Iron Slag.
To the northwest.
In return, we'll build you a tower. It will be erected on a large estate in the Silver Marches. You can determine the exact location. It will be built within 100 days. And I'll pledge to you, dwarf sovereigns, that will cover the cost of the construction. In return, you must bring me proof that the fire giants are no longer a threat, whether it be the head of their king, or all of my prisoners freed from their slavey hands.
Well, I'd certainly be willing to do it just to free our brothers, but...
Of course, but there's more. How is Gellerin, by the way?
He got squished, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Oh.
I think. Yeah,
Does he live?
Gellerin? No.
Yeah.
He didn't make it.
He
Wait, did he? Let me
fell
check.
in the battle.
Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah,
made
pretty
it.
sure. Yeah.
How'd he die?
He hacked into a fire giant's toe and then got punted.
Yeah, he was trying to defend his forge when he fell.
He fought bravely.
Saddens me to hear that.
Fire
But
giants got him.
I don't doubt the man's bravery. A good man he was. No finer smith has ever graced the North. He will be remembered. His name forged into the annals of history. I commend you all in your devotion to ending the giant threat. And I want to give you a special gift to help you in your war on the giants. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out these two little golden figurines. Catch! Throws them over to you, Roderick. Make a dexterity save.
Oh no. I don't have a sheet open yet. There we go.
Alright, well, Fan tries to, like, dive out in front of you and catch them.
He's tries to intercept him.
Just need to catch the other one.
Mine.
Too far apart. My arms aren't long enough.
Alright, you snatch up one each. And they're very small figurines. Golden lions. Small enough to fit in your pocket. Say this command word. Wardrobe. And throw them on the ground. They'll become living creatures that will obey your commands.
Wardrobe?
Yep. I was tossing up between that or witch.
Interesting.
Figurines of wondrous power. Golden lions.
Cool.
So you get 2 lions for 1 hour. And you can only do it once every 7 days.
Yeah,
You can actually just do...
reports or-
Yeah, you can use 1 instead of 2 if you want. Alright, so they're for you, Roderick, but if for some reason you don't want them, you can always palm them off to someone else, but you feel like you probably wouldn't want to do that in front of the king. Probably don't want to do that in front of the king.
Yeah, I'll pocket those.
He's like, I don't want these.
Just throw them over your shoulder like Luke Skywalker in the movie.
You're welcome to stay in Citadel Felbar. Make use of our amenities.
Thank you, sir.
Tonight, we feast. In honor of Gelrin, whose name you forgot.
Yep.
He nods at you all, and then you're escorted out back into the sprawling city of Citadel Felbar. So, Citadel Felbar is a dwarven city. It's huge. There is every sort of amenity that you can picture here, whether it be a tavern, blacksmith.
I'm sure they have stuff for trade.
Yeah, they've got anything made of metal from the player's handbook for trade.
How about precious gems?
Oh yeah, there are a number of jewelers here. They mine the shit out of these mountains, these Rovin mountains.
Let's get some diamonds.
Yeah, we have some. I'll just check.
More. Let's get more.
We have 13 diamonds worth 100 each, 2 worth 500 each. Yeah. So anything made of metal, not like +1 stuff though.
They may have a few magic items for sale. You'll need to spend some time here looking for magic items, though. Be pretty much like downtime.
Yeah. So I'm considering upgrading from my splint to either plate or.
Oh, they definitely have plate. You can get plate.
Do it.
I will. Well, it might be worth looking around see if they have something special. Because we have.
If you guys want to spend like 5 days here, you can do a week of downtime. Try and look for some magic items.
I'd be willing to. What about the others?
Sure.
Yeah, they said you're welcome to stay. Alright, so what are you looking for, Roderick? Alright, they do have a few items that you can have access to that are readily available. It's a +1, they have a +1 battle axe, a cloak of elven kind, surprisingly.
Yep.
They have a potion of greater healing. They have a folding boat, potion of vitality for sale. That's what you can find immediately without any downtime.
How much for the potion of greater healing?
250 gold pieces.
Let's get that.
Sure.
Okay.
Um,
Who's taking the
battle
potion?
axe.
I'll take it. I don't have any.
Alright, who's doing the party loot as well? It's
I'm on it.
okay.
at the moment. Heck.
So speaking of items, I had given Lily the Pearl of Power, and I did tune to the room.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, you buy the potion of greater healing. It's an easy transaction. You guys said you wanted to like deal with some gemstones or jewelry. They'll
Well, we
buy
can get
like
rid of-
they'll buy all
we
of
can-
your jewelry and gemstones.
We have sapphires that we maybe don't need, or emeralds. Some of the
Sapphires,
emeralds.
emeralds.
Sapphires we need. Emeralds we don't. We can get rid of the emeralds, I think.
Oh, what's the sapphires for?
I think there are some spells that are you need to have sapphire.
Not too sure about that.
Isn't there?
Yeah, I
thought there was.
haven't.
I think
I've only
just
seen
Not
diamond.
even a ruby, but
Oh, is it Ruby? Sorry, I'm thinking of Ruby.
Yeah, rubies and diamonds are the ones for spells.
one I think you can save an item in a sapphire, but I don't think I've never seen any.
Then there is like Kira's Feast that just needs 1000 GP gem encrusted bowl.
Well, let's maybe get some ruby and diamond instead of the emerald and sapphires, if possible.
Yeah, how much diamonds do you want? They've got quite a lot, quite an abundance.
Yeah.
Well,
can do whatever.
Yeah, we have.
People that are going to use them pick how much we want.
We got 7 bloodstones worth 100 GP each. Can we trade those suckers in?
Well, we'll just sort out all the ones that we don't need and add it all up so we can do it together.
Okay, there's
Excel sheet.
three sapphires. So just the total amount?
What kind of grouping do they have to be in?
The diamonds.
Yeah. Does it matter, or is it?
I mean, for Revivify, it's just 300 GP worth of diamonds. For Raised Dead, I think it has to be like a single 1000 GP diamond or 500 GP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a single big diamond for Raised Dead.
We have 3,920 GP worth of gems that are not diamonds in our loot.
Yep.
So that total amount, just trade it in for some diamond and some that other one that we need.
Yeah. Bloodstones aren't anything, are they? Nothing. Sure.
Yeah, you just want diamonds and rubies, really.
But we don't have any rubies, so if we.
So we got 3,970, and we're looking for what, like maybe 1,500 in ruby and the rest in diamonds, or 1,000 in ruby and rest in diamonds.
Well, how
How's
much
that?
diamonds are you looking for?
I just don't know what the trade's going to be, so I'm telling you the value of what gems we have.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can
know
get
what the trade's going to
1,500.
work out.
So
Whatever we can get.
the
So yeah,
rubies?
2,900 and whatever it was. Was it 3,000? Yeah,
3,000. Well,
3,900.
when I
Just
Yeah.
do all the selling first, so it's all sold,
Yep.
and then you know how much gold you've got, and then you can just buy like what you need.
Ah, okay.
Also, you've got some scimitars and daggers and stuff. You probably want to get rid of those too, unless someone wants them.
No, let's
so
get rid of those.
from my calculations, it was 3,920 from selling the things, and we already have 1,300 in small diamonds, and then 2 500 GP ones. We could.
No, leave those.
As it like we could get more of those. What spell takes the rubies?
Force Cage takes like 1,500 of ruby dust, and but it's not consumed, so it's like a one.
Yeah, I don't think you guys would know that anyway. I don't think anyone's capable of casting Force Cage.
Yeah, that's a few levels down the line, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's
Does
like
anyone
level
have
14 or
these
something.
rubies?
Yeah, like 13 or 14 before we can even do that.
Let's just get 1,000 GP worth of ruby. Anyways, so 3,920 and.
Wait, why are you buying the
gems.
ruby?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If we don't have anyone actually using it.
Yeah, we don't
Well,
know that we need it.
we don't know that we need it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just keep in mind that you're just like a low-level caster. You don't know about Force Cage and all this. You're not a wizard as well.
Well, okay.
Your character's not a wizard. You might know it, but it doesn't mean your character knows it.
Okay, so you're telling me that there isn't a single spell that I can cast at this level that requires ruby without me having to go through every single cleric spell?
I don't know every single cleric spell, but if you find a spell that you need a component for that you're able to cast, then by all means you can look for the component.
I just don't have the list of spells on my sheet. I'd have to.
I don't think there is.
How do I find out? Is there? There isn't. Okay.
You look in the player's
there
handbook
isn't-
and you go to the spellcasting section, and then you look at cleric spells, and it'll tell you the components that you need. But obviously, if you haven't got a spell that requires rubies that you need to prepare, then it wouldn't make sense for your character to desire rubies.
I say let's just get like a couple thousand worth of diamonds and move forward.
Yeah. We really don't need 10,000 of diamonds or anything, right?
No.
No.
They're
And
good
how,
to have.
how many times are you guys planning on dying? You've got like so many diamonds. You've got enough for 4 revivifies and 2 raised deads already. So that's 6 deaths you've got enough for as it stands.
Dan's just got It's like my grandparents went through the Depression and hoarded food. He just went through reviving our cylinder.
Also, we don't want to be carrying around all this gold anyway.
Then again, you may have a lot of NPCs that you want to raise. Alright, well, you can get 1,500 worth of diamonds.
Yep.
Small diamonds.
Perfect.
If you want to buy them.
Perfect.
That's the most that they can sell you.
Okay, let's do that.
So we're gonna is up to 28 of these diamonds. So it's 100 off. And all the diamonds I have are small ones, right?
Yeah, it's just tiny little diamonds that they've mined. There's no big fat ones. Diamonds are super rare, so you'd be hard pressed to get a big diamond.
I'm gonna trade any for some frayed gnome hair.
Yeah. Are they willing to trade gold for platinum?
Yeah, they'll swap some gold for platinum. They will take a 5% commission at the money lender.
It may be worth doing that because, like, if we come across a bunch more gear.
Well, if we're waiting here for 5 days, and presumably we're looking for some.
Yeah.
See what we have left.
Might do it on the way out. Like, trade most of it, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Alright. Well, if anyone wants to do some downtime, then
I would like to do some downtime shopping. See if I can get some magic armor of some sort.
What are you looking for?
Probably a +1 plate mail.
Go for +3, man.
Well, I mean,
Just joking.
not sure how much it costs.
More than we ever have.
Yeah.
Alright. How much do you want to spend? It's cost 100 gold pieces to look. You'll be going around and trying to get in touch with dwarven wizards, which are quite rare as it stands.
Yeah. How much to spend to go looking? So it's like 100.
Yeah, 100 to look, and then it's 100 to look, and then for every extra 100 that you spend, you get a +1 bonus on the persuasion check needed.
I'll just spend 300.
Okay, make a persuasion check. Gives you a +2 bonus.
This is horrible.
Alright, you're very lucky, Roderick. You just managed to convince a wizard to, a dwarven wizard who's only staying here for a brief moment before heading back down to the Underdark to research some arcane anomalies deep in the Underdark. And he's willing to enchant the plate mail, and all up it costs you 2,200 gold pieces for a +1 plate.
2,200?
Yep. And it has a faint blue glow to it, and it's custom made. Like, you get the smithy to actually custom make you the plate armor, and then they enchant it. Like, the wizard enchants it for you, and he takes his commission. All up it costs you 2,200.
And then it's the 300 on top of that, or is that?
Yep. Yeah, so all up it's 2,500 total cost. And you got +1 plate, fit for a dwarf.
Nice.
Very nice.
So that costs the gems and 80 gold. The spare gems and 80. I just sold all the diamonds for that, guys. Sorry about that.
Alright, does someone want to spend some downtime as well? While Roderick's off doing that?
I don't trust my persuasion skills to try to do something like that.
Do
Well, I mean, while we're here, I mean, might as well.
Yeah, buying magic items is only one of many downtime activities.
Um,
I'm not sure if I
Is
actually
there
have
a,
all the. I don't even think I have a list of activities here.
is there a fight pit around that they wouldn't mind a 7'6" guy fighting a dwarf?
No, they don't have a fight pit. They don't do underground fighting or anything like that.
I'd like to search for a +1 shield that will be able to inscribe my holy symbol on. That's what I
Okay.
want.
Yeah, you can look for a +1 shield as well. It costs 100 GP to search. It's uncommon, so. Wait, is +1? Oh, yeah, +1 armor and +1 shield is uncommon.
I think
you get
plus
weapon?
one armor is rare.
Is +1 armor rare? If that is the case, then your armor is going to cost a hell of a lot more, Roderick.
Okay. How much?
It could be up to 20,000 gold pieces.
Let's see. I'll have a look.
Because I think the armor is.
Yeah, armor is rare. Alright, let me double check the price then. So, hold your horses.
Shields are uncommon though.
Right.
Yes, it actually costs 6,500 for the +1 plate. I thought that was uncommon, but it's rare. You look for a rare magic item. And actually, you know what? The DC is higher, so you can't even find it, Roderick.
Okay.
For a rare. So you just spent 300, but do not get the armor, I'm afraid.
Sure.
Yeah, rare items are like 2d10 times 10,000 times 1,000 GP, so it could cost you up to 2,000 gold pieces. And then if you're looking for armor as well, you got to pay the price of the armor on top of that.
Yep.
You wear a shield?
I'm not using it that much anymore. So I've been using the bow. Like I've been switching between them, but someone could.
Yeah, I'll spend my time looking for something for somebody if you want.
Shield +1.
Alright.
Please, sir.
Alright, that is an uncommon item, so it's 100 gold pieces to search. How much do you want to spend, Thomas?
How much do you want to spend, guys?
9,000 gold.
No. I got a +9. So.
I was about to say you have a pretty good budget, so
Plus 200 gold.
So 300 totals for a +2.
should be plenty.
Alright, roll a persuasion check to look for a +1 shield.
There we go.
Easy.
Yes.
And they'll sell you the +1 shield for another 250 gold pieces. So the total is 550. And you can get the holy symbol of your deity beaten onto the shield's face.
Perfect. Thank you. Wonderful.
So 550 for that.
Okay, so Roderick and Thomas have both used a week, so it leaves Norin, Than, and Rend if you guys want to do anything. You don't have to. If you don't want to.
I think Norin would look just to see if they have it. Just spending 100 GP on the search. A javelin of lightning if they have it.
Okay, you know what to do.
Yeah, don't find it. That's fine.
Yeah. They you get sent on a bit of a wild goose chase, Norin, and they're like, what? There's like one dwarf that's really hard of hearing. He's got a lot of hair like sticking out of his ear. You want it? A light javelin? Ah, yeah. My brother sells light javelins. And then you get sent over to like a shop where it's just extremely light javelins.
Yeah. I don't know. I might buy a few of those anyway.
Oh, in that case, I want to look for goggles of night.
Okay. That's an uncommon item. That costs 100 gold pieces to search. And for every extra 100 that you spend, you get a +1 onto the persuasion check.
Wait, can I get Thomas to look for me?
Mm-mm.
He just spent
Yeah, he already took
his
it.
5 days.
Then what's my persuade? That's 0. I got 200 gold, so go 200.
Okay, gives you a +1 on your persuasion check. Big money, no whammies.
Use party loot. Don't use your gold.
And no luck, Rend. Most of the dwarves don't understand what you're saying. You don't speak Dwarvish, and you're not sure if they don't speak Common or they're just jealous of your height.
I put my hands up around my eyes and circle them like binoculars, with your fingers.
You go around to like every
Boys.
single one of the 50 taverns in Citadel Felbar, trying like buying drinks to try and get them, and no luck, I'm afraid.
A question: do the stuff that like scimitars and stuff they sell for half price?
Yeah, anything from the PHB they'll buy for half price.
So I figured that works out with a bunch of things to 253.
Okay.
Like with
And also, if anyone wants to buy anything from the player's handbook made of metal, then they have it.
What's the terrain that we're going to be going into?
It's a forge.
Is it? But we're going to venture out, right?
yeah, so we'll be in mountains, I suppose, and then inside.
I'm going to get some climbing gear for Roderick.
Yeah, they've got plenty of climbing gear. 25 gold pieces for a set. If you guys don't have a set,
Everybody should have a set.
yeah, recommend everyone buying one. Don't forget like things like lanterns as well, and maybe healer's kit.
I'll spend my time looking for healing potions, and climbing kit, rope, stuff like that.
You don't need to spend downtime to buy all that stuff, but healing potions you do. So they have regular healing potions for sale. They've got a fair amount of those. They're 50 gold pieces each. That's something from the player's handbook. If you want to buy a more potent magic item, then well,
more potent healing potion,
a potion of greater healing,
or higher.
They can.
I don't know what the next.
Very expensive. I think after that is rare, and then it could be like 2,000 gold pieces for a single potion.
Oh no, greater.
Yeah, they have some greater healing potions. They have 2 of them for sale, straight up. Like just they restocked.
Okay.
So that's 500 gold pieces.
All right, and then how much for regular?
They're 50 gold pieces each for a regular healing potion.
So then we'll pick up 10 regular and 2 greater.
Okay. Yeah, they'll have 10. They take about a day to make, so they have a bit of a stock, and then they make more for you during
that's 1,000
that
gold,
time.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
So 10 regular, was it?
10 regular healing and 2 greater. And I think Ren needs some healing potions because he used up what he had, I think.
Yeah, I don't have any.
So you should take the greater. And then whoever else doesn't, if you don't have healing potions, you should take some, just in case.
So let's. It might be a good idea to have like everybody have like a couple of the regulars and then stock the.
Okay, 2 regular. Yeah, 2 regular.
And then stock the rest in the bag.
Well, there's only 10 regular. There's 5 of us here. So
I've got 1 regular already, so I'll just take 1.
Okay. So make sure everyone has 2 regular, and then whatever's left over, yeah, party loot.
So tell me if you have any left over.
Well, there'd be one. There'd be an extra one, right? That one, Thomas.
No one else has it.
For sure, there's 1 extra right now.
Yeah.
Then,
May as well keep them on inventory though, because you don't want to be spending 2 actions to use a potion in combat.
Yeah.
One to get it out of the bag, and the one to use it.
Yeah, you can just hold on to that extra one. You had the 3rd one. Get yourself the 3rd one.
well, we should add 1 to Lily's page too, because she's not here.
True.
All right, I'll give that excess one to Lily.
Perfect.
And Rend has you got your greater healing on there?
Norn, do you have greater healing?
I do not have a greater healing on me now.
Probably should take one.
I can take it.
And
Or is it
you've still got your week of downtime if you want to use that then. Buying these items only takes an hour out of a 40-hour week. It's not enough to cut into your downtime.
To look for a magic, some sort of magic item.
Yeah, you could look for a magic item. You could do some religious services. You could, try and spread the word of your god, and maybe then if you're in a bit of a tight situation, you may be able to get maybe a channel divinity restored or a couple of spell slots restored or something. If you spread the word of your deity.
I will spread the word of my deity.
Okay, doesn't cost you anything to do religious services. Who is your god again? It's not Kellenvor, right?
No, it's Neuralis Analor.
Okay, so you're having a hard time trying to spread word of this elven deity, but who knows? You may be able to get through these dwarves. You make either a persuasion or a religion check, your choice.
What were the options?
Persuasion or religion.
Oof. Really driving a hard bargain here. Persuasion or religion, alright? Ouch.
The dwarves just tell you to piss off. They really don't want you preaching there. Piss off with your elven bitch god! They can't even grow a beard! And they call themselves a god!
That's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Dwarves don't want to hear nothing about it, so Morales does not acknowledge those efforts that you made, unfortunately. Alright, you've been here for 5 days. Not too long in the grand scheme of things. However, you feel like it's probably long enough that if you don't get a move on, bad things are going to happen to the people of Faerun with all of this giant activity. So you depart Citadel Felvar, head back onto the airship. I get back aboard the airship of the Dragon Cult. Lily's there, looking after it with the Dragon Cultists. Today's weather is fine. It's a blue sky, it's not even that cold. There's no wind. And it is nice. You've got on the airship very early in the morning. You've got Iron Slag marked on your map.
So northeast.
If that's where you guys want to go.
Yeah, I mean, saving some dwarves is a good thing, and if there is a fire giant leader there is a very good chance that there will be a rune there as well. So
That's
I
a
don't
good
think I don't think
He
it's
hasn't ruined it.
and it's not far.
Yeah. How about we go to Iron Slide?
I mean, we don't know there's a rune there, but there's a good possibility.
Alright, Delphine comes and does this weird draconic salute. Where he does this weird pose, like he pushes his arms out like a crane. To try and represent dragon wings. Just randomly does that. You've never seen him do it before, but he does that this morning.
I think your new pose needs some work.
Where to, sirs?
Northeast.
Northeast? How
Iron
far?
slag. Iron slag.
Iron Slag. I do not know of this location.
It's northeast. He just told you.
Pointed
Let
out
the
to one on
show
the
you
map.
You best show me on the map. Alright, he's like, starts pointing on the map and he's like, here! And he's like pointing northwest.
No, over here.
Oh. Very well. And? This has something to do with giants, I trust.
Yep.
Fire
Fire
giant.
giant.
Fire giants. Ah. You best watch out. They may have fire.
Don't know what we'd do without your wisdom. I shall prepare.
I've heard they're very big.
Giants tend to be that, yes.
Very well. Onward. And outward and upward we go. And the airship takes off. Delphine jumps on the wheel. Mans the helm. And it's a one-day journey. We'll be here this time tomorrow.
Fabulous.
The journey over to Iron Slag is uneventful. You travel through the clouds and just prepare yourselves for another day. No encounters with any aerial creatures or anything like that. And this is one day later. Delphine comes and reports to you while he does that weird crane dragon stance again. Ha! He throws in a little ha this time.
No.
Morning, sirs. We are approaching the location that you requested on the map.
Wonderful.
It appears to be a mountain.
Oh, well, it is inside of a mountain, yes.
How are we going to land?
Carefully. Is what I suggest.
We're approaching the south side of Mount Hammerhast. Where shall we land? Ha! As you guys are on the deck here, you look out and you see an enormous mountainside with spires that are 7,000-8,000 feet tall. And they have kind of frost-covered peaks. It's a very, very, very large mountain. Could be, impossible to land up there with the airship. But you're about 15 miles away or so. You can sort of just see the beginnings of the mountains. Below that, there's just some hilly terrain, and then you see the all of these wooded areas to the west.
We could land like out of sight so we can sneak up. Because I suppose it would be pretty obvious flying shipping. No one would see us.
Maybe land next to the woods so it's not just this ship sitting out on the plain.
Yep.
Visible for miles.
Well, can we see any structures on the mountain yet? Like anything that looks like it's an entrance?
Make a perception check. It's very, very hard to see. There's like thick grey clouds in the air, and you don't have anything to assist your regular eyesight. You're kind of squinting there, Roderick, and you just make out
With
the...
advantage, because it's in my favorite terrain. Wisdom check.
Okay. Alright, 25 is good. Alright, the first thing you notice, Roderick, is the mountain is made from stone.
Yep, and I tell them. Look, it's
What
made of
kind?
stone.
All right, you
It's not regular dirt. It's
you you see that a section of the mountain here is not a natural occurring formation, man-made formations.
Yep.
You can see a staircase carved into the mountainside, and these circular spires that have been chiseled to represent almost like turrets. They almost look like two massive turrets, thousands of feet high. And you can make out tiny little buildings on top of these turrets. It's like a little village sitting on this stone precipice. Two circular stone precipices.
nice.
And at the very base of the stone precipice, you do see a large set of doors
Yeah.
at the base.
Okay. So we can decide between us if we want to fly up to the top and drop in, and then call for a getaway car later, or land sneakily somewhere else and go in the big door.
The village as well, like straight away, just judging in comparison to the size of relative to where you are, it's not a giant sized village. There seem to be thatch roofs, and they're only humanoid sized edifices, maybe a bit bigger.
Okay.
There's a little bit of smoke sort of trailing out of them. There's a big circular stone wall enclosing the entire village. There are two such villages. They seem to be interconnected by wooden bridges. They're about 500 feet. 500 feet up. Must be thousands of steps.
We could go straight visit the villages and then sort it out.
Yeah, I think visiting the villages might not be a bad idea. Ask around about fire giants and iron slag and see what's going on.
Yeah. And hope they don't shoot us down.
Very well.
Cross our fingers.
You want me to fly overhead of the village? Ha, sir.
Yes.
Or maybe land on the outskirts. Do we really want to fly above?
I don't really think we can land on the outskirts of it.
Yeah, if we were going to do that, we'd have
to
to land next to the forest and then climb up.
Let's do that.
I've got short legs though.
We got you.
Oh, fine.
Just give me the order, sir. Ha!
Stop saying ha.
Where shall she blow, sirs?
To the patch of forest over yonder.
I'm taking her down to the patch of forest. Okay, so dragon cultists start to descend, and you can't land in the forest though. So do you want to just be like on these plains here?
We could get
A few miles
anywhere.
from
Thomas
the
to clear
doorway.
for us with fireballs.
That seems fine to me. Plains. A
Okay.
few miles away.
You need a reasonably flat landing space for the ship.
Right.
Okay, you guys fly down, and you're about 5 miles away from those spires. You land on the ground here. You can see towering woods to your west, the mountains to the north, plains to the east and south of you all, and there's just a few elk getting around, and it's pretty much open territory. There's no roads here. There's no inns. There's nothing that's really been built up. So you're now down on the ground here, and you can make out these circular structures just on the edge of your vision to the north, bounding the horizon.
I'm gonna step away 40 feet from everybody and give myself a little mage armor and dark.
Okay.
Is it worth casting mage armor?
On the ship.
Well, on the ship it's definitely not.
Alright,
but,
when
like, otherwise,
nothing
Yeah, I'm doing
happens
so.
when you do the mage armor, Thomas, but when you cast dark vision, you need to roll on the wild magic surge table.
Now, he did say he walked 40 feet away, so.
Here, I can't hit the macro button without a token.
Oh, let's get you a token. Let's move on over to
Nope, he doesn't have to cast it.
a map-see-do. Okay, I'm gonna move over to a map just so you guys can see. You're just out on like a green field. There's nothing too special about the area around you, and I'll just move on over there. Here you guys are. Thomas is 40 feet away from you guys. So I guess he's sort of over here. You guys are over here. The airship's 50 feet away from you, to the east of this map.
Alright. Oh, look at that. Super dark.
It's quite cold here as well. It's pretty rugged. And what do you guys do now?
I'm actually going to prepare for my bag of beans because I just realized I need to do that. We have a jade pot plant, so I'm going to get some dirt in it. Just in case I ever need to plant a bean in dirt and we don't have we're like in stone or something.
Alright, as you guys stand here, you start to feel the ground shake. And you look off towards the spires to the north. Thomas, you notice this for a brief moment with your enhanced perception. There's a fire giant traveling towards you guys. He's a few miles off though. And he's accompanied by a goblinoid warband. He's coming straight towards you guys. They'll probably be here in about an hour. They look like they're heading your direction.
Incoming enemies. Maybe they saw the ship and they're coming towards it.
Yeah, we could either hold them off here, or go out to meet them, or do like 2 lines of defense and have some people manning the ballista. And
I would rather have them not close to the airship with their.
what's the range on the
rockets.
ballista again?
I think it's about 300 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to keep the ship out of the battle just in case. It's too valuable. We've got diamonds for Revivify.
Yeah. Well, we can, or in that case, we can like start making our way towards them or fly away.
I mean,
Either
Just
fly
stay out
away-
of rock range.
Sorry,
fly away or-
did you say there's just one giant coming our way?
Yeah, you can see
giant.
him, and then yeah, you can't make out exact numbers, but a large number of goblinoids as well. They're so far away. You guys are about 5 miles away, so you can only really notice it because you're in enhanced vision for a brief moment, Thomas.
So maybe move forward a mile and try to set up.
if we can. I mean, it's just is it just open plains?
It's rugged. There's a few little knolls and whatnot, It's not
Let's try to
completely
hide.
flat.
Maybe they'll just. If we hide, maybe they'll just keep going. Leave us alone.
Yeah, but they probably know where the ship is before we spot land.
Yeah, that's my fear.
Let's start moving toward them, and then when we find a good hiding spot, hide and wait.
The ship can
Good idea.
go.
Yeah, we can tell them to.
Fly to safety.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you have a message, don't you?
I do.
That'll work. Are we familiar enough with these dragon cultists now?
Fly, you fools.
Lily's on the ship.
She can fly to us later.
No, I'm saying Lily's on the ship, so you don't have to worry about.
Well, that
Definitely
may or may
familiar.
not change. But would I be familiar enough with the cultists to call upon them with my spell if I wanted to send a message?
Yeah, and Lily's on the ship as well, so we've got that.
I don't want to
Lily?
rely on Lily because maybe it won't happen this session, and if she joins us next session, then
Yeah, you're familiar enough with the
Something.
cultists anyway.
okay, cool.
Alright, so you guys are gonna just wait and meet the giant and the warband.
We're gonna have the ship take off out of play.
Okay,
Wait up.
Alright.
Let's try to find somewhere to ambush them or be set up a little bit at least.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a welcoming party.
Maybe. If there's like a hill that we can peek over or something.
you would have time to try and get to a bit of cover and duck down and hide. You'd probably
Let's do
want to
that.
obviously take a look at which direction they're headed and, give them a bit of a wide berth. You've definitely spotted them before they've spotted you.
Let's do that. Let's give them a little wide berth and find a spot if we can.
Alright, so I'll just extend this map out a bit more. Give you guys some more room.
Are we hiding to avoid or hiding to ambush?
I'd say hide to avoid. We don't need to. Do we need a confrontation with them? Whether it's
No, we don't.
yeah,
One
let's just try
giant,
to.
one giant fewer inside iron slag when we get in there.
We can hide behind the giant stone face there.
How about hide to observe what they're doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Do that.
You guys find a little conveniently placed grassy knoll to hide behind. You hide over here next to it. It's like the only one in the area. How convenient. There's plenty of rolling hills, very rugged terrain, thick grass that's, well overgrown, and enough suitable cover. So, as you guys are hiding, you start to feel the thundering footsteps of the giant. Well before you guys notice them. And you see the giant first. He's huge. He's about 18 feet tall. He wears plate mail. He has a great sword sheathed in a scabbard behind his back, and he holds in his hand one of these black rods. And there is a number of ogres. 3 ogres quite close to the fire giant, just idly following him. Behind the
I wasn't
ogres,
paying attention. Was I over with the
yeah,
rock as well?
there is a heap of hobgoblins spanning out in 2 groups, one with 5 and one with 6 hobgoblins in them. They're all moving as one big war band. And behind them are a ton of goblins. About 15 or so. And they're all just sort of spread out. The goblins they have ropes, large ropes slung over their backs, and they're pushing these enormous wooden and stone carts behind them. They seem to be struggling a little bit, and they're slightly lagging behind. You see the fire giant periodically stopping and waiting for everything to catch up. And a lot of the goblins have picks and shovels. They look like they're going mining. A couple of the goblins are wearing these like crude-looking miners' hats. And this giant warband is moving by you guys, and I need a group stealth check for you guys to avoid them. The fire giant is looking around, but mainly focused on this rod.
Mine's a disadvantage.
The fire giant stops. He immediately spins his head around and looks directly at you guys.
Damn it. Abort. Abort.
He points a giant hand at you all. Burger. Mogtar! Gastolusha! Wrestler! Look! They're awesome! Slave for us! Capture them! We shall put them to work in Iron Slag. And they attack.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly where we want to go.
The fire giant commands the warband to attack you guys.
Should we just submit?
No, they're going to take our stuff.
No way.
Sell their item. Capture them and sell their items on eBay. Alright.
No.
Especially the diamonds.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, this guy, he looks like a run-of-the-mill fire giant. There's nothing like special about him. He's wearing just stock standard armor and weapons and whatnot. But still, he's a big boy. All the goblins start to draw short bows. Hobgoblins draw bows and swords and shields. And ogres start slamming clubs onto the ground and drawing javelins. Alright, Than, you're up.
Okay, I'm just gonna check the range on us. So I'm gonna bonus action. No, I'm gonna dodge and then bonus action. Cast spiritual weapon,
Crit.
and it's gonna be on the closest. This guy here.
Okay, the dove appears above your head, Than, and then swoops down in a low arc, and it just hits the hobgoblin in the chest, buckles through his armor, and knocks him straight off of his feet, dead instantly.
Death by dove. And am I hit, or do I have cover?
You're not hidden anymore. Yeah, this knoll's not enough to provide any cover.
Okay, then I will move back to here.
There's no cover or difficult terrain in this area.
Okay. And I will. Where's the end's turn? Shit, here we go.
Alright, the hobgoblin starts screaming at the goblins. Do not kill them! We need them! Got it? Any one of you little runts, kill them! And you'll answer to me! And then the hobgoblin... I'm just going to move this little grassy knoll out of the way as well. Doesn't need to be there. The hobgoblin then draws his longsword and he takes a dash action. Just charges straight into combat. This hobgoblin also dashes into combat. Runs up next to Roderick and Rend. This hobgoblin is going to also run into melee. He's going to put himself there. And this hobgoblin is going to take the dash action too. He's going to run there. The other 6 hobgoblins spread out, forming a firing line to the east. Whoops, actually, he did not need to go that far. They form a firing line, and at the exact same time, they all knock arrows into their longbows, draw back, aim up into the air, and fire upon you guys in a wide arc. First arrow will be at Thomas. So it's coming. This is coming from this lot of hobgoblins. You're hit, Thomas.
I'll shield.
Okay. As the arrow is coming down at you, you hold up your hand and the arrow just it gets completely sundered. It shatters across your shield. And there's actually another arrow coming for you, Thomas. Hey, what's your AC? 19?
No, it's 17. Sorry, I don't have my radio on. So 22.
Okay. Okay. Alright, they hit you with their martial advantage, so it's extra damage. You hit for 10 points of piercing damage. Then there's one arrow.
Didn't you put your mage armor on? You walked away from the ship for that, didn't you?
So 22 on the attack, it hits him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just meant because it wasn't showing on my AC score because I hadn't clicked.
This is coming in at Norin. Miss. At Than. And at Rend. Big hail of arrows. They just line the ground, falling short of you guys. That's the Hobgoblin's turn. Done. Roderick.
Okay. So the big guys all seem to have melee weapons, right? They don't have like stuff to shoot us with.
The ogres?
Yeah.
They've got some javelins.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got a crude leather quiver strapped over their shoulder with a long, just pretty much long sharpened sticks sticking out of the quiver.
I'll just shillelagh and start whacking this guy that's in the middle.
That hits him, and you take the wind straight out of him. You bring this quarterstaff around again, and you just hit him on the neck, break his neck.
Excellent. I'll do the surprise attack.
And you completely ambush him. You hit him in his thorax. That breaks his neck. He's on the ground dead. He just like kind of chokes to death. Tries to give you the spiel about how he's like the superior warrior and he's chosen by Maglubiad and he doesn't have any vocal
I'm not
cords
actually
left.
finished, but dwarves are the greatest warriors of all time.
Rend.
Alright. I'll rage. And too far. Alright. I'll move over here and attack the hobgoblin there.
That's a hit.
Oh, I didn't say reckless. Damn.
You cut him straight down
Ouches.
with that attack. You hit him in his side, it slices through his chainmail, cuts into his torso, and his entrails spill out all over the ground.
Oh, we got one back there.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then I'll attack him.
It's a miss. He ducks underneath the attack and holds up his shield. Your axe glances off the side and then he jumps back. Ha ha ha! You are reckless, he says.
Yeah, rage takes
You missed because you're reckless.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a bonus action to rage.
Alright, this ogre just starts thumping his club all over the ground. And then he runs forward and takes his javelin. He reels back and he throws it at Roderick at disadvantage. Oops, did not mean to click that twice. It was lagging. It's a miss. The javelin kind of sticks into the ground about 10 feet away from you, Roderick. And Thomas, you're up.
10 feet away. Feet away.
Sticks into the ground about here.
Okay. That's...
Alright, Norin. Yeah. So Norin and I'm gonna twin this and
Oh wow.
make Oh wow. No.
Alright. Twin Grader and Viz. A little bit unstable. A little bit unstable with the Arcane Weave there, Thomas. Roll me a 1d20.
Oh shit.
You almost feel a bit of a wild magic surge, but it doesn't go off.
Yeah, there's a lot of these guys. I'll quicken a firebolt.
As you're casting these spells, you like hear this voice in your head. You have heart of warrior, Hoodley. And you send that firebolt over it, turns the goblin into ash. Norrin.
Let's take a couple of steps forward. Plant all my javelins in a row in front of me, and let's get started.
That takes you 5 minutes.
I'll just dump them all out, and they all stick in the ground. Yeah, there are a ton of...
He's just got like a big roll. It's like a big leather roll. He just grabs it and just flicks it and just unravels like a scroll. Selection of different javelins named Ogre Javelin, Orc Javelin.
Yeah, there's a ton of these goblins. We'll probably need to go and start getting rid of a few of them. I'll move that way.
Don't get too close to him.
This first javelin will be an advantage.
Hit. And it goes straight through the goblin, pinning him to the ground dead.
The second one will be at this guy. This will be just a regular one.
You're invisible. You get it.
Oh, well, he's further than 30 feet away, so... I don't have sharpshooter yet.
Hit. And another goblin is stuck straight into the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out of javelins eventually.
Run
I
out of
think
goblins
for now
eventually.
that's fine.
The fire giant kneels down onto the ground, and he's got a bag, as all giants do, slung over his shoulder. Slings it in front of himself, reaches one of his giant hands into the bag, and he's just got a big hefty looking rock. Tosses it up in his hand a couple of times, and then he holds it back, grasping it with a clawed hand. He puts it up next to his neck, and he starts spinning around, and he shot puts the rock straight at Roderick.
Oh no.
Oh.
And slams into you for 24 bludgeoning damage.
What type of rock is it?
It's granite, solid granite. Healing properties.
Yeah. I feel great.
This ogre follows the giant's lead. He takes a javelin and he sticks it up next to his neck and tries to throw it like a shot put at Roderick. And he ends up sort of tripping up, slicing his neck a little bit and stumbling and throwing it directly at his feet on the ground.
Yeah, excellent.
The goblins, attack! They yell out and they start moving forward. And as they're moving forward, they're shooting bows, all of them. I'm going to do all their movement first. They close the gap a little bit, and it's going to just be a hail of arrows short bow arrows from goblins. A couple of them actually stick up right next to the ogre. They seem to like the ogre for protection. Okay. 3 of them are going to fire at Norin at disadvantage. And the arrows go way off. 3 of them are going to fire at Rend. And a couple of arrows catch you, Rend, for a total of 6 points of damage. 3 and 3. 2 arrows are shot at Than. They both miss. And 2 arrows are shot at Roderick. And they both miss. Then 5 arrows are shot at where Thomas was at disadvantage. In his general direction. And 1 arrow actually hits you. It's just a big hail of arrows, and one of them just inadvertently catches you, Thomas, for 5 piercing damage. Just by pure luck and nothing else. Not like they were really aiming at your invisible self. And did I miss an ogre? I think... Oh no, I didn't miss an ogre. Alright, this ogre is going to run forward, stomping along the ground, and he takes a javelin in both hands and throws it over the top of his head in a very crude manner at Than at disadvantage. Miss. Than, you're up.
I'm going to let's see here. Spiritual weapon is going to go in on this guy here. Actually, this guy here. I'm going to continue to dodge, and I will attack this guy with a spiritual weapon.
That's a hit. Right, the dove flies down, slams into the ogre's ribs. Roderick. Actually, hold up, sorry. It's the hobgoblin's turn.
No, I'm good. I'm happy to go.
Hobgoblins go first.
Oh, you just...
I had him hidden, so he didn't go show up on your initiative order. Okay.
Delete the one that died.
He's over here. He's resting on the
yeah.
fire giant's eye now.
Yep. That's a
Okay.
nice way of doing it.
Again, the hobgoblins, they act in a very well-trained manner. Knock! Aim! Fire! And all 6 hobgoblins act in unison like well-trained warriors. And actually, hold! One of them holds his hand up, and they don't shoot yet. Actually, yes they do. They were just waiting for a hobgoblin to be next to someone, and they're all going to fire at Rend. Focus down the big man, they yell out. 6 arrows coming your way, Rend. And you're hit by 3 of those arrows. I'm going to tally up the damage for you in one total. You're actually hit with 21 points of damage in total from all those arrows.
And that's halved.
Yep, that is already halved. At the same time as that's happening, Rend, the hobgoblin next to you is trying to slash at you with the longsword. That's how they had their martial advantage. And even he hit you for a whopping 1 slashing damage. He just kind of whacks you in the face with the hilt of his longsword.
Were they at disadvantage or not?
Longbows, 150 feet range.
Ah. Okay.
So 21 damage in total. Oh, 22 damage in total.
Okay.
Roderick.
I am going to yell wardrobe.
Okay. So when you throw them down, I think they appear like within 60 feet.
Yeah.
One or two.
One in your pocket first.
I'm gonna do both of them and just cause
in the
problems
middle
for
of the
these
goblins.
for the goblins.
Yeah, take them out of your pocket first. That's a good idea, Roderick.
No, I throw myself with them.
The giant mane just peers out of Roderick's pants.
Is that a lion in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
Alright, 2 golden lions are going to appear over here.
Yeah, I
I'll
reckon
do
I have like a dash thing, so I'm gonna put them sort of near Norin,
Okay.
around there.
Alright, you will control these lions because they don't require any sort of action to control. So you can just take total control of them yourself. There's only one problem. I've got no idea where the lion character sheet is. Oh wait, no, I think I found it. Yeah, I found it now. Okay. So I'll give you control of the lion character sheet. Roderick. They'll both go at the same time on the same initiative count, so you can just roll one set of initiative for both of them. They can do one attack, either bite or claw. They've got pack tactics, so if you have an ally next to one of the lions, the lion has advantage. And also, they can pounce. If they move at least 20 feet and then they hit with a claw, they can knock the target down prone with a strength save, and then they can also bite as a bonus action if they knock the target prone.
Nice. So I don't think they have a.
Click on the name
Yeah,
of the
okay.
thing and it'll do the initiative. Let's go in the NPCs folder, NPCs mounts familiars folder, the lion sheets. And we better make them gold as well. Okay, they'll go on initiative count 18 and you just take control of them on that turn.
Officially, they require being told by me or my allies what to do, and that is maul the goblins.
The goblins start panicking, they open their eyes and they start pointing. Big doggy! Big doggy!
And then I'm gonna bonus action put a hunter's mark on this dude. I can find my sheet now. Where did I put it?
I think getting those out is a bonus action.
No, it's an action to. I'm pretty sure it was an action to throw them.
Action, yeah.
Yeah.
An action to throw and speak the command word. So you spread out the word wardrobe over 6 seconds, or you spell it out.
W.
W.
And have to act it out as well. So I'm just doing like cheerleading stuff for the lions.
Also, if you want to move those lines around in a different configuration, go for it. Alright, Rend.
Yeah, I'd probably set him up.
Attack the hobgoblin.
That hits. Actually, that misses him. He interposes shield and armor, and the attack does not hit. That hits him. Alright, this time you just hit the axe in the same spot on that shield, and it sunders his shield, slices through his arm, and hits him in his torso. Dead.
Okay, let's see. In that case, I'll go ahead and oops, move here, and then that'll end my turn.
Bonus action.
Oh yeah, you're right. Bonus action. Attack that dude.
That's a hit. And Ogre just loses a leg. You slice it straight off as he falls prone.
Okay. Alright.
This ogre, he runs around the side of the fire giant. The fire giant slaps the ogre in the back of the head as he's running. And the ogre dashes up to you, Roderick, stomping onto the ground. And then he sort of looks over in the direction of Thomas, like for a brief moment. Thomas.
Alright. Now I feel some smoldering start in my finger. So I look for a small bullet. Oh, darn.
If you put it one up, you can get one of the goblins as well as the top dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that goblin. That one in particular.
Yeah. My shape is slow, and I just saw burn. I said burn.
Alright, everyone clap with me. Wild magic. Wild magic.
Hey, look at that.
Nice.
I mean, that's good, but it's also...
Alright, that's the first useful wild magic surge Thomas has ever had.
That's awesome.
Thomas.
Wait, no, that can't be right. He
If
doesn't have full health. Reroll it.
Exactly. Usually that. I think I've gotten healing ones before, but only when I've got.
You're feeling a little bit better after casting that fireball, Thomas, and everyone just sees a big plume of fire across the battlefield raise up, and you hear hobgoblins screaming as everything in that area gets incinerated. Hobgoblins and goblins alike fall onto the ground dead, instantly killing them all.
All right.
Norin.
I'll let the big doggies deal with the goblins for now.
They're not actually dogs, Norin. They're
Alright.
cats.
I think Norn would understand that at least.
They're saying in cat, woof. Is that more than
Ren
woof?
commands them to wolf. I'm sorry, Roderick commands them to wolf. To wolf. Like dogs.
Run up on that guy. And let's.
Hit.
Good thing I have advantage.
You poke him with the trident.
I'll put the unwavering mark on him. Let's try to open him again.
That hits. You stab him again, and this three-pronged, bloody bead of blood drips down from his side. Rah! He just roars a little bit and looks down at you, and then he looks at you, Roderick. Why you do that? How you do that? Ah, big heart. Now me make you big heart. Tricky, man.
And I don't really have a bonus action right now, so that's it.
Alright, the fire giant is not messing around. And he's going to run in here towards Thomas. And as he's running, he's drawing his great sword. And he swings at you, Thomas.
This could suck. I will shield.
Alright, you have to use every ounce of your power to block this great sword. You throw up your hands, and even despite a shield surrounding you, you still feel this force that almost knocks you off your feet. And the ground's also trembling at the same time. There's almost like an explosion, and you can see the shield almost give way at the same time. The greatsword is just tremendous. It's like 5 times a regular greatsword size. Whoa! He swings that around. It ricochets off your shield. Then he spins it around, takes it in both hands, and tries to just drive it down onto the ground next to you, Thomas.
No.
And it misses. It slides off your shield and sticks a couple of feet into the ground. Then he rips it out of the ground once more.
Good job, Hood.
You're a brave warrior, Hoodley.
Hood.
You hear the spirit speak to you. This ogre gets up and he just looks down at his leg. And he looks very, very angry. Now me have to get another one! Picks up the leg and uses it like a club. Tries to hit you with his own leg rend.
Nice.
And he misses. It just spurts everywhere and he kind of hops around a bit. Alright, the goblins start panicking as they look over and see all the hobgoblins dead, and they start yelling, "Spread out! Spread out!" So they spread out after seeing that concentrated explosion. I'm going to do all their movement first. Two of them run up into melee with the big doggies. Some of them are running every which way. They just spread out as best they can. One of them hides behind the ogre. Two goblins draw scimitars and engage the lions in melee. Attack each lion. Both lions are not hit. And then two goblins focus down the lions with bows as well. And bottom lions hit for 4 piercing damage. And then 4 more goblins shoot at that same lion. And 1 arrow crits a lion for 7 damage, sticking into its side. There's another arrow coming in at that same lion. And that hits as well for 8 piercing.
Yeah.
And then 2 goblins aim for Roderick. Both arrows miss. And then 3 more fire at Rand. And they all miss. And that's it for the goblins. This ogre runs forward, engages you in melee, Rand, and tries to hit you with his great club. Miss. Than.
I'm going to cast Sleet Storm.
Alright, Sleet Storm. Let me take a look at this one. I always just get confused between this one and Ice Storm. They're like so similar. 20-foot tall cylinder. 40-foot radius. Okay, so it's double this size.
Huge.
Bit too big.
This seems a bit ridiculous.
1 more down. Alright, I'll give you control of it then, so you can center it exactly where you want to put it.
Okay.
So it's heavily obscured, flames are doused, the ground is difficult terrain. If they start their turn there, it's a dex save or full prone.
I think. Yeah, I think that's.
Well, the ones behind it wouldn't be able to see through anyway, so.
Just remember you can't see them as well, so you don't know when they're aiming a bow at you.
No, I'm gonna go with my original. I think right there, something like that. Yeah, I'll put it there, and I will spiritual weapon.
Cast your first spell before you do your next thing.
It's not really it's from the item, so I don't really have a spell for it. It's from the ice shard thing.
Okay.
The ice rune.
Shard of the ice room. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
using
It's the
Charges?
Winter's Howl. As an action, you can cast Sleet Storm, spell save DC 17.
Okay.
You regain this after a short or long rest.
Alright. A big icy wind just starts to appear in that area. It's just a huge storm. It covers all the grass in ice. Everything's
And
extremely slippery.
My spiritual weapon will attack the ogre here, this guy. Oops.
That's a hit. And the dove comes around and slams into the ogre's ribs again.
And then I will move to here and then end my turn.
Alright, the single remaining hobgoblin makes a dexterity save. So Sleet Storm appears. He slips up. He falls onto the ground prone. He gets back to his feet and he steps out of the Sleet Storm. He steps down here. Draws back on his bow. He's going to aim at Roderick. The arrow misses. Goes way over your head.
Yep.
Lions.
Clips Norin's antlers on the way past. Way over my head. Like, just 3 feet up there. So these guys are going to be quite tactical. Move that one up there first, so he has advantage. This lion can do the attack. Where is it? It's a bite, isn't it? Or is it claw?
You can choose bite or claw. Your bite's stronger, so.
Oh yeah, because the bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite's stronger. If you're moving 20 feet, then it's better. You're probably better off clawing. And that's a miss. The lion leaps forward, tries to bite the goblin. Goblin jumps out of reach. The lion's maw.
So the other one's gonna get a shot at him.
And the lion bites onto the goblin, starts thrashing around. The goblin's screaming and is almost dead.
Yep. That is them.
Roderick.
I suppose I will start beating this guy up. My quarterstaff.
That's a hit.
Yeah, how do you like that?
And another hit.
Kneecaps.
You whack him a couple
Yeah,
of times and he's starting to look hurt.
Can't seem to get their legs off.
It doesn't work quite as well as Ren's axe.
Yeah.
If you keep hitting the same spot, eventually you'll break it off.
We'll come back tomorrow.
Persistence.
Second wind. Wow.
Rend.
Alright, so I'm a great weapon master, this guy.
And reckless.
There's still too many around me to reckless this way.
It's too great. And
Yeah, that's-
a bit of his leg stump spurts blood in your eye, Rend, and
alright,
shields your
let's try
vision.
it again. Let's try it one more time.
And
Jesus.
it's still just as you're going to swing, it just spurts in your eye again, and spend your turn just wiping blood off your face.
Oh, 1 and a 4.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Alright, this ogre is keyed into your tricks, Roderick. All your invisible javelins and whatnot. And he looks very angry. Ah! You think you can get me with the invincible javelin? And there's a trident, not a javelin. Among other things.
I'm trying to think if he'll need to be. If he has to be able to see me for that to be in effect, but I don't think it does.
To hit him with the unwavering mark? Yeah, I don't think he needs to see you. I think you just need to see him, right?
Well, I mean to impose the disadvantage when he's going for somebody other than me.
Oh,
Because that's the other part we never
Well, yeah.
really use because I'm usually throwing javelins.
yeah, he's at disadvantage. Because the unwavering mark, and that's a miss. And that's the end of the ogre's turn. Thomas.
Conveniently, that plate mail makes my armor AC 19 now, so
Oh.
like with all advantage, disadvantage, it doesn't matter. Game at least.
Alright. Guess y'all burn.
You've got the regular plate, Roderick?
Yeah, I've got the fighting style when I was ranger for defensive.
Okay. Wait, are you proficient in plate mail?
Yeah, I'm a dwarf. Dwarves are proficient in heavy armor.
Heavy armor.
Okay, cool. Alright.
And they oh sorry no, it's not that. It's
Nature cleric.
from their cleric.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was
And
gonna say, it probably wouldn't be too much of a hindrance even if you weren't anyway. Alright,
Oh yeah, you're a hill dwarf. They don't get that.
yeah, correct.
okay, a fireball. The goblins, dead. They get incinerated. And both ogres hold their arms over their heads. And this ogre, finally, his leg gets cauterized, but it's too late for him. He falls onto the ground dead. And this ogre is badly burnt by the fireball. The grass is singed. And you got another couple of dead ogres, or dead goblinoids on the battlefield. Fire giants are roughly following where you're moving as well, with his head, Thomas.
You can't see me, you can't see me.
Norin.
I'm gonna run to there. Well, let's take some swipes at Mr. Giant.
That's a hit. And you stab into his leg. There's a small gap in between his greave.
I'll put the unwavering mark on him. Alright, let's go ahead and try to stab him again.
And this time you find the gap again as he's kind of shocked. He looks over his shoulder, trying to see what's going on, and gives like you a stern look in your general area. Even despite you just using all your might to jam this trident into the side of his leg, he barely flinches. Like you've just poked him with a needle.
Yeah, I'm trying to just trying to dissuade him from going after Thomas if I can. That's really all I'm doing. Let's see what he does.
He just immediately swipes his arm in a massive span. He's got a long arm, and he just like sort of swipes it all along the ground. And it's a tackle. As he enters your space, you need to make a strength saving throw, Thomas. Not Thomas. You're next, Thomas. I'm coming for you. Norin. Alright, it kind of just clips you with his pinky finger, and it doesn't knock you over. And then he actually does the same. He comes over, he sort of leaps forward. He does a lunge and sweeps his arm as he moves here. He provokes from Norin, and Thomas, you also need to make a strength save.
It's not my forte.
Norin, you hit him. And you just hit him as hard as you can with that trident, and it still does very little to the giant. And you're gonna need like get this guy on the ground and like hit him in his neck or something to kill him. It's like Roderick trying to take off the ogre's leg with a quarterstaff. Alright, Thomas, you're knocked to the ground prone. And then the fire giant sees the imprint of you in the grass. And he brings down his greatsword as a regular attack on you. And he hits you for 33 slashing damage. He sticks the greatsword into the ground, and like the very, very edge of the blade slices along your arm. Like if he was an inch over to the side, it would have cut your arm clean off. Alright, the force of that and the trauma causes you to drop concentration.
Is that why I kept, because it's Warcaster makes it roll 20?
Oh, okay. You've got Warcaster. I don't have that built in for you. Let me fix that up. I'm going to make it so it automatically rolls. In that case,
That's why
you
I rolled
maintain. It doesn't roll twice, it just rolls you with advantage. But I don't have you set for Warcaster, so let me fix that up. Thomas Hoodley, Covenant. Alright, in future it's going to roll automatically. Okay. You maintain your invisibility, and he's going to attack you again. Picks a greatsword up, and he's pretty much just like playing a game of whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
He hits for another 21 slashing damage again. The blade slices you across the neck, narrowly missing, cutting your entire head off. And you maintain concentration again. And that's the end of the fire giant's turn, just stabbing the ground repeatedly. Alright, it's a whole bunch of dex saves for these goblins. DC 17. I'm just gonna move one of them out of the way for a second. Get them all in with a big group saving throw. This is to slip over. Alright. Only two of the goblins don't fall over. This guy and this guy. The rest all slip up. And then they're just going to get back to their feet. They're using half their movement speed. And they're going to move whatever they can. The two that don't slip over, they also move whatever they can, moving through difficult terrain, whatever. And they kind of get out, move around. You can kind of hear them shuffling around, and for the most part, they're heavily obscured. And then they're just going to start firing arrows randomly. First of all, actually, this guy is going to bonus action disengage and run away from the big doggy who just bit him.
You better run.
Alright, 2 arrows are fired at this lion. That hits the lion for 4 piercing damage.
Yep.
And then that second arrow makes the lion disappear. He vanishes. And then another arrow from this guy comes in at the remaining lion. Lion's hit for another 5 damage. 2 more goblins fire at the lion. And a couple of stray arrows hit the lion for another 11 piercing damage. And then 3 arrows are going to be fired at Than from the center of that big swirling icy
Sorry,
portal.
so they're actually able to shoot
Yeah.
from inside the sleet storm?
Yeah,
Really?
it doesn't stop them from shooting.
Okay. But I wouldn't be able to cast a spell on one of them, right?
You can cast spells on them. They're heavily obscured though. Alright, an arrow
But
hits you
what-
for 5 piercing damage.
If it wasn't a to hit type spell.
If a spell requires sight, then no, because they're heavily obscured.
Okay.
And
Just-
another
I just-
arrow hits you for 10 piercing damage.
I misunderstood this spell then.
You can heavily obscured. You can look it up in the PHP.
No, it's fine. I just remember having it done the opposite. Like, we couldn't heal Ren that time when he died, but with a natural
Yeah.
20. I'm just remembering that. But that's because I couldn't see him through the storm, right? Or the
Yes.
heavily obscured. Okay. But anything to hit is just at disadvantage.
Well, you can't see them either, so it's advantage and disadvantage. Unless you can somehow see. Anyway, it's complicated. You can look it up in the PHP, but I'm not going to explain it now. You are hit for 15 points of damage though. 5 and then 10. Another goblin fires at you and misses. One goblin fires at Norin. And that's a miss. And 2 more goblins fire at Rend. And those arrows miss. You need another concentration save. Fan. Because you got hit twice.
What am I concentrating on?
Sleep Storm.
Oh, okay.
A big spell that you cast there. Alright, the ogre is going to swing his great club at Ren. Alright, the sleet storm goes down, you lose concentration on that then. Alright, the ogre hits you for 6 bludgeoning damage. As this massive swirling ice leaves, all the goblins start looking around very confusedly. And Than, you're up.
Alright, my spiritual weapon's gonna move to this guy. And gonna attack that guy.
That's a hit. Alright, the dove flies in again, slamming into the ogre's ribs.
That was doing some work. I'm gonna move down to here and I'm gonna command. Was this guy speaking in common or giant?
He was speaking in giant.
Okay, I will command him in giant to grovel.
He makes a saving throw, and then he looks over at you very angrily. And he just starts screaming at you in giant. Raktarola Mogtura Rovel. You feel like you've offended him, Than.
Okay.
Thank God.
This hobgoblin is going to fire at Ren. Miss. He's going to start closing the gap a little bit too. He'll move up. Lion.
So with the pounce, it requires 20 feet in a straight line. Can you like run away first and then do it? Like,
Yep, as long as he moves 20 feet in a straight line to get up to his target,
sorry.
then he can pounce.
Yeah, that should be right then. He does that. He's got 50 feet movement, so there and back. And then a claw for the pounce.
Alright, the lion leaps up into the air and he actually slices the goblin into 4 different pieces with his claw. Little chunks of goblin just are sliced perfectly into 4 even pieces.
It was 40 feet. Oops, another 10. Yeah, I reckon, I don't know. Hide.
Roderick.
Yeah, how far is he? Could do a healing word on him. Which is probably necessary.
Can't see him.
So I'm gonna do that with a 3rd level 1. Because that's what you do. Pets. Good cat.
Alright, lion winks at you.
I mean, good doggy.
And the arrows that are lodged into it just they fall out. Its wounds heal up.
And then I'm going to keep going for the leg. Same one. Just
That hits. And
away.
finally, you break through his leg. And the ogre falls onto his knee and you just jam the quarterstaff through his mouth, bursting it out the back of his head.
Only took me 6 tries. How does Ren do it?
And then you realize that the leg is still hanging on by a little bit of flesh there, Roderick.
Okay, I'll hang around here until it's gone then.
It was the dove.
I actually might stash my quarterstaff and I'll use my bow next turn probably.
Okay. Rend.
I'm going to Reckless and Great Weapon Master the ogre. Jeez.
That's a hit.
Oh, it's a hit.
Alright, you hit the ogre hard. You slice both his legs off with a single swing, putting Roderick to shame.
Cut him down to size.
Oh, I'd better do that too.
Clean
with my
cuts.
blade.
No bits of flesh still hanging on either. Precision.
Alright. Then I'm gonna run up to this guy. And we're gonna reckless attack him.
And bye-bye goblin. He's dead. You got him straight down to the ground.
That was 20. How much room do I have? And I think I'm gonna end up 5
Is that
feet.
his head rolling off the field? Because that went a long way.
Right there.
Thomas. Can use half your
Half my
movement.
to stand.
Yeah.
And I'll flex at the giant, and then pantomime opening a door and step away. Sorry, my screen's too small. And
You can go further in that direction if you want. Don't feel limited by the map.
yeah, no, that's
Norrin.
There. Start hitting them.
That hits. Alright, you poke him in the leg again.
I keep doing it.
And again. You stab him a couple of times and your trident's just coated in blood and he's barely flinching. Do you need to mark him again? Are you marking him again?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So that
mark
stay
him
up.
with that. And I'll. Yeah, I'll just end my turn there.
Alright, this fire giant looks furious after he's been told to grovel. He points at you, Than, and he yells in giant, "Me? Grovel? You impudent little worm! I am your master! You will be lorded by me!" And he runs at Than, and as he moves through Norin's space and into Than's space, he kind of kicks you, Norin. You need to make a strength saving throw. And Than, you also need to make a strength saving throw. It doesn't knock you over, Thomas. He just, Norin, sorry. He just kind of taps you. He does also provoke from you. But Than, when he reaches you, he just sort of boots you with his giant iron greave. And it knocks you to the ground prone. Alright, Norin, you, with all your might, crit him in his ankle. And it does cause him to stagger a little bit. He staggers a little bit, and he's bleeding pretty badly after that attack. You hit him in like a tendon, but he's just focused on Than. He seems so furious, as these giants are notorious for being slave masters themselves. And he just brings up his greatsword and brings it down on Than. And he hits for 27 points of slashing damage. He brings up the greatsword again. And he hits for another 31 points of slashing damage. And you see the giant just bring down the greatsword, narrowly missing Than's head, but the crossguard of the greatsword kind of hits Than's head, knocking him unconscious. And they did it in a manner that Than is bleeding out on the ground, dying. Alright, the goblins are going to move. This one hides behind a hobgoblin. This one backs up away from you, Rend. And they start moving closer to the giant, away from the lion, and a little bit away from Rend. A couple of them move up closer to the south as well, and they're keeping their distance where they can, employing short bows. And they start firing at the lion first. First arrow hits the lion for 4 piercing. Second arrow misses the lion. Third arrow hits the lion for 3 piercing.
What's the range on the short bow?
Fourth arrow.
80.
They're not disadvantaged, it's 80 feet.
Yeah.
That's a miss. So wait, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth arrow. It crits a lion for 13 damage, and another arrow crits a lion, and the lion reverts back to its little golden statuette form, falls on the ground over there. You'll need to go and pick that up later. A goblin fires at Rend, and Rend, you're hit for 1 piercing damage. 2 more fire at you, Rend. And both our arrows miss, and 1 more fires at Rend. And Rend, you hit for another 1 piercing damage. That's it for the goblins. Than, make a death saving throw. So 1 failure. There's 1 hobgoblin left, and he grabs the goblin next to him by the scruff and yells and points at Ren, spittles coming out of his mouth, and throws the goblin forward. And then he takes out his longsword and runs in at Ren. And misses you. You cleave off his attack, Ren. Roderick.
I'm going to cast a healing word first on Than. I don't think it really matters what level I do. He's getting by the giant, so.
Alright, the fire giant sees you administer healing and then points at you, Roderick, and yells out to all the goblins. Sort of pointing you out.
That's what I like to see. Then I'll draw my longbow and shoot him twice. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll do that.
Alright, as he's pointing, the first arrow hits him in his finger, and it cuts his finger clean off, his pointer finger, and blood starts to spurt out all over the ground. Then he quickly raises his giant arm full of armor, and the second arrow just deflects off and misses. Ren.
Alright, I'm gonna reckless attack the hobgoblin.
That hits. And you cut the hobgoblin straight down.
Alright, and then
You might be better off helping out with the giant.
yeah, I think so too. So I can move right there.
Thomas.
I got 1 more of these in me.
Another big mushroom cloud of fire appears on the battlefield, sending smoldering goblin corpses flying into the air, incinerating everything in its path. 5 more dead goblins are added to the corpses, laying all about the field. Norin.
Alright.
You start to see this fire giant wavering a little bit. You're still not terribly injured.
Kill him. Kill him.
Well, that's what we're gonna try to do. The first attack is I'm gonna use my bonus action since he dealt damage to an ally while being marked. Oh, bonus action.
That's a hit.
And it does a little bit of extra damage.
Alright, you jam the trident again into that same part of his ankle, and he actually kind of slips forward a little bit and falls down to one knee.
Alright, let's keep on going. Alright, first attack.
Not as impressive as Ren's leg tactics, but
No, I don't have a leg lopping weapon, so I do what I can.
still put Roderick to shame though. And yeah, this gives you access to hit the giant in more places. You see a gap in his torso in between his plate mail, and you stab through. The magic trident cuts through links of his chainmail underneath, and you like drive the trident in as far, like all the way up into your hand. And you pull the trident out, and you hit again, this time twisting the trident, and the giant's eyes widen, and a bit of blood starts to pool out of his mouth. He sort of stumbles backwards, gets back up to his feet, blood spurts out all over himself. So he has to hold on to his torso, and while this is happening, the ground is just shuddering with each step, and he rises to another, he's full 18 feet tall height once more.
Alright, then I'll action surge and start going for his ankles again.
That hits. And you stab him again in his ankle, but he just grits and bears with the pain.
And last attack.
And another hit. And this time you actually feel the tendon slice, and blood is just pissing out everywhere. It fills his boot. He leans down, takes his boot off, and it's just filled with blood, and tosses it like 100 feet over to the side. And his leg is like all bloodied. It's just a big red patch.
Alright. I think that's the luckiest I've ever rolled for
That
for
you just
damage.
made up for all of it. All those shit rolls.
Yep,
Nice.
that's my turn.
Well done.
The fire giant, he just moves here. Norin, make a strength saving throw. He kicks his bloody foot up to you, and also inadvertently, well, Than, you're already prone, so you didn't have to worry about that. Right, kicks you straight over prone, Norin, and then he just takes his great sword, both hands, and he comes in for the kill. But he stabs in the completely wrong direction. He starts to stumble around, dazed and disorientated, looking around, and he's got sweat just profusely dripping down his auburn-colored hair. And then he just does like a big arcing sweep at you, Norin. And it misses you. He swings 5 feet overhead. He just becomes so reckless. And then he actually just charges towards Roderick, provoking from Norin and Than.
This will be a regular attack, I guess, because I'm prone.
Oh, Than, you are unconscious, so you don't have your weapon in your hand.
No, he's got 5 health.
Yeah, but when you go unconscious, you don't. You drop your weapon. You drop whatever you're holding.
Yeah.
Alright, Norin, from the ground, you slice again, and you just sort of slash the trident through his leg, and as he's running in that direction, he falls down onto one knee again, and then his other knee, and then he has to like push his right hand out to plant himself onto the ground to prevent himself from completely falling over, and then just sort of roars out so loud. Roar! It gets to be heard for miles as blood is everywhere. Than, I'll say that you did it would have to be an improvised, like an unarmed strike, so that'll be a miss. And there's not much left in this fire giant. The goblins panic and they just start running off when they see that, and all of them take their action to dash and move 60 feet away from you guys, running into the hills as far as they can go. Than.
I take it spiritual weapon's gone, right?
Nope, it's
No, it doesn't require.
yeah,
concentration.
it's not concentration. Spiritual
Oh,
weapon.
he's getting a dove to the face.
Alright, do you want to stand up first?
Yeah, I'll stand up.
Crit.
Oh yeah. Shit. How do I do this crit now? Damn it.
Just
Should
click the damage
just
and it'll
do
roll it
damage.
for you
Yeah,
automatically.
but then I have a macro for just the damage, so I don't have to cast a spell. But anyways, just
Alright.
take
The dove
spell back.
flies past his head, slamming into his face, and just slashes through his cheek. Blood causes his vision to become blurred even more, and a big line of blood flicks along the grass. The giant just turns towards you, and his face is covered in blood.
I will cast Toll the Dead on him.
Nice.
Ah, there you go. He saves it.
Oh, of course.
Oh
You
man.
rolled 22.
Roderick called that, not me.
Yeah, end of turn.
Roderick.
Since he's bearing down on me, I'll move my hunter's mark onto him. I've neglected for a while, and stick it.
Alright, as he's sort of roaring towards the direction of Than, you just line him up perfectly with your longbow, Roderick, and you hit him in the back of the head. And Than, Rend, and Norin, you just see the arrowhead first burst out of the front of one of the fire giant's eyeballs. And it just sort of, it doesn't go all the way through, just the tip of the arrow kind of sticks through his eye. And then the fire giant sways his head from side to side and then slams down face first onto the ground, and Roderick has single-handedly taken out that fire giant. Good work, Roderick.
Giant Slayer.
Alright.
Nice
I'd
work.
like to do a parting shot at
You
the
can
goblin that's within reach.
try and take out some goblins. You feel like they're just gonna run off and cry. Okay, you guys. Just take pot shots at the goblins as they're running off. You see them one by one slowly fall to the ground in the distance.
Should have zigzagged.
Yeah, I'll collect my lions.
You ain't lying.
You pick up the figurines, Roderick. They're just unscathed, and you'll need to wait another 7 days before you can.
Yep.
That was rough, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it was a bit
Search the giant, and
rough.
at least the hobgoblins.
Alright, the ogres and the goblinoids don't carry any treasure. They just have their crude weapons and armor. The fire giant has a sack. And he
Oh,
has
the guy, was it?
a couple of things. It was. Wait, which sack are you searching?
I think I got the wrong one, guys.
These are some big orbs.
Alright, he has
Tower.
a cauldron in his bag.
It's a random cauldron.
And he has a miniature giant-sized cloak.
Wait, what?
Giant size.
Miniature giant size. So is it sized for like a medium?
Well,
human?
no, it would be miniature for him. It's still huge for you guys,
Okay.
but it's giant sized. It's a big cloak. It's made of wool. And it looks like maybe he was going to put it on if it got a bit cold. He also has some coins, quite a lot of coins in his sack. Start rifling through his sack, and from his sack you pull out 1,200 copper pieces, 500 silver pieces, and 500 gold pieces.
Nice.
Cool.
And he also has one of these adamantine rods. Rod of the Vonadod. It's 4 feet long, 100 pounds. It's sized to fit comfortably in a fire giant's hand. Has 2 prongs at one end, a molded handle grip on the opposite end, and it's got some sort of magical property to it. Could be identified. It does weigh 100 pounds, so it's quite a, it's a 4 foot long rod. It should fit in a bag of holding though.
Yeah.
If you have enough carry weight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do since we ditched
We just
all
got
that
rid of
garbage.
a bunch of them.
Yeah. You could also just call the
Oh.
airship back. The airship carries a ton. So.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, it's probably a good place to maybe take a quick rest on too.
Alright, you guys call the airship back. It was just hovering in the air, several thousand feet above you guys. It comes back down, they lower a rope ladder. And then you tell them to actually land and stop being lazy. So they actually land, so you don't have to climb the 100-foot long rope ladder. You guys get on board, and
What time of day is it?
it's early, very early in the morning.
Okay.
Looks
Alright.
like time for a long rest, guys.
That's completely up to you guys if you want to take the rest of the day off. Take a short rest for now, at least, if you want to. Unless you don't want to take a short rest, then don't. And we'll also take a short rest IRL. We'll have a bio break. I'll see you guys back in 10 minutes.
Alrighty.
It might be a good idea to waste the rest of the day if we're going into a dungeon. We don't know when we might be able to get a long rest out. Just food for thought. Anyway, I'll be back.
How's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Yep.
Good.
Everyone back?
Yep.
Alright, so the airship swung by, pick you guys up. You're now currently on the Dragon Cold airship. Delphine does his signature move. Ha! How did it go, my lords?
We lived.
Did you get everything you need? Did you take out those heathens? Those foul giants.
One of them.
Oh, one down, yeah.
Do we know what they were searching for with that rod? Wasn't he using that like a divining rod type of thing?
We should identify it.
You guys can identify it during that time that you're resting. So you take this rod and lay it out on the deck of the ship. It's made from adamantine and it's been imbued with some measure of magic. However, you guys are not able to identify it with mundane means. It's too big for you guys to hold. Doesn't shrink down to fit your size. And without handling it properly, you're not able to use it. So you're not able to identify it unless you have the identify spell. Now, Lily, on the other hand, does not have identify prepared, but she can do it as a ritual. So that's what she does. She learned some interesting things from doing this. Firstly, identifying it tells her a little story about the rod, well, how it was created. She says that a fire giant duke named Duke Zolto hired a wizard to craft several of these adamantine rods. It has 10 charges, and it regains 1d6 plus 4 of its expended charges daily at dawn. As an action, you can grasp it by the handle and expend 1 charge to cast the Locate Object spell from it. When the rod is used to detect objects made of adamantine, such as fragments of the Vonadod construct, its range increases to 10 miles. It's simply too big for you guys to use though.
It's very interesting. What does it mean, guys?
Well, it's maybe something we can give to a friendly giant.
Harshnag?
Yeah. They'd have better use for something like that, since they can use it.
Yeah, I suppose if we can't really use it, then best
Now,
to keep it.
with the
just-
aspect of the bear, since I get double on my carrying capacity and strength and stuff, would I actually be able to use it or no?
It's not a matter of strength, it's a matter of size. It needs to be able to fit in your hand.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if I sit on your shoulders and we put a giant trench coat on.
Would heat someone the enlarge spell?
You need to be at least, at the very least, a large-sized creature to attempt to even hold it.
Maybe Lily can cast Enlarge on you, and then you can use it.
So is the Vonadod construct, is that the Titan they're looking for?
It must be.
Oh.
The one that the Dwarf King told us about?
Yeah. Well, seems like it.
Lily says, I don't know the enlarged spell. I'm just a girl.
Spot on.
How about like a polymorph into something
Yeah,
that can hold it?
polymorph into a giant ape would work.
But then your intelligence is of a giant ape. Which is
Like
probably
eight.
It does
Probably
require
not
attunement as well.
Oh,
Like,
Well, we need to perhaps we can, I don't know, maybe we'll come across a giant that's, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can't do anything with it now because I can't cast Poly. So we'll wait for Lily to snap out of it.
Well,
Maybe try something.
it requires attunement anyway, so
Yeah.
you won't be able to polymorph someone and then have time to attune to the item and then use it. The spell will expire. It only lasts 1 hour.
We can go pick up Harshnag and bring him with us.
What was Harshnag doing again?
He's guarding the entrance to the whatchamacallit,
The Eye of the Allfather.
that one.
Delphine says, Ha! Awaiting orders, sirs.
so do we still have to infiltrate the fire giant place?
Yeah.
yeah.
I halfway want to piss away the rest of the day. Yeah. Because we might be in there. Who knows how long it'll be before we can get arrested.
Listen, I've been hired to steer and drive this airship. I'm not going to do any sick things you ask me like piss for the rest of the day. Alright?
Alright, fair enough.
You should ask Nizeroth about that though. I think he's into those sort of things. Nizeroth nods knowingly.
Yes. I don't know what I'd do without your guidance and wisdom.
Let's not ask him about it. Seems too keen.
Give the orders. Where you wish me to fly the airship, I shall.
Well, you guys want to wait out the day or not?
Roderick doesn't mind either way.
Yeah, I'm okay either way.
It's fine.
Alright, then let's wait out the day.
You wish me to hover here? Very well.
Go up higher though.
Higher I shall go.
Show me that huh move again.
Ha!
Fascinates me.
Alright, you guys just hover for an entire day. And nothing happens. You're just hovering there. The elementals paddle the airship. You're deep in the sky, well above all the grey clouds. Stationary. You don't even see other birds passing by. Nothingness, just yourselves. You will take a long rest. You wake up the next morning. The next morning, the weather is icy cold. It is absolutely freezing. You guys wake up shivering. It is like there's frost on everything. There's frost on the balloon. Delphine says, there's frost on the balloon. In the morning.
Yes, good eye.
Yeah, you should melt it off with a fireball.
I would not advise that. You may damage the balloon.
Oh, God, I didn't think of that.
That's why we're here.
Appreciate it.
And suddenly, Delphine looks over the deck and points up ahead to the forecastle. Incoming! And you see 12 feathered creatures coming straight at the airship. They have spears in their hands. They seem humanoid. They have eagle heads. They're about 100 feet away from you guys. They've managed to approach pretty much undetected, using the clouds to stealth up to get quite close to you guys.
Time to cast shield before they get close.
Yeah, they're several hundred feet away. They'll be upon you guys. They're definitely coming straight at you guys. They'll be upon you guys in a couple of rounds. They're flying at a regular, like what you'd expect to see if someone had flycast on them. These are eagle-headed humanoids. So, what do you guys do? Thomas casts shield.
Ren moves to the front of the ship or whatever. They're coming from to the front.
Yeah, they're coming from this direction. They're not quite like on this map yet, but they're getting there.
So he'll move to the front.
I'll
We'll
lean
go
over
there
and
as well.
wave at.
Okay.
So that's where the bolt is, isn't it?
It's quite windy up here, and again, everything is awfully chilly. These avians get closer, and you guys recognize them as Aarakocra. An avian race. They don't have a bad reputation. They're coming straight at you guys. And they have javelins in their hands. They don't wear any armor or anything. They just got these enormous wings. And as they fly at you guys, they sort of dart away, spreading into two different groups, splitting into two groups of 6. And they begin to sort of circle the ship. So just keep in mind this is below deck as well, so things can like go over the top of the ship. And this is the health of the ship there. Maybe I'll put this up here. I'll put it up like that. Okay, so the Aarakocra circle around you guys. And the ship's stationary, so you guys aren't moving. They come upon you guys very, very quickly. And they don't look very happy at all. And they just start panning their wings around the side of the ship. They haven't said anything. What do you guys do?
Hello, friends.
They don't respond to common, and they start doing a dance. They dart in and out, flying around one another in this jovial dance, using their wings and their beaks. They move in unique ways.
Like a mating ritual?
Could be trying to mate.
Start dancing in the locker
It
room.
could also be not trying to mate. Okay. So, Thomas starts doing the Macarena. Rend, Than presents himself for mating. Rend, what are you doing?
I'll start flapping my arms and go caca, caca.
Oh God.
I'm gonna speak to him.
Sure, that's racist.
They weren't upset before.
And Delphine says, Sirs! We've had run-in with these creatures before. We slew many of them. Foul feathered fiends.
That's why they're pissed.
Is that why they're here, to counterattack?
Probably.
And
Didn't they paint Dragon Cult on the side of our ship or whatever?
suddenly,
These guys are under new management now.
your words are falling on deaf ears. They don't speak common. Suddenly, 2 air elementals are summoned up in between the 2 groups of the Aarakocra, and they attack. They point out the cultists, and point out the ship, and point out you guys. The air elemental, this humanoid shaped embodiment of air, starts screeching straight over at you guys. And we start off with this air elemental. The air elemental, it comes straight in at the cultists, and it starts to swirl around, creating a whirlwind of itself. And both cultists are going to make some saving throws.
They're gonna attempt. Oh man.
Zalthea, whee, is flung straight off the ship. Ah! Screams and is overboard. Delphine gets thrown into Norin, slamming into Norin. He's knocked to the ground prone, and Norin, you're hit for 5 bludgeoning damage, and he's also quite badly injured as he slams into you. Whoops. And
I figured that hurt him a lot more than it does me.
it actually, I think he's actually ripped into pieces because he takes more damage. I think the air elemental just rips his arms and legs off in the process, so it's just like a bloodied corpse. Why is this whispering? Okay. Yeah, a bloodied corpse is thrown at you. That's all that's left of him after he comes out of that twister. No.
Right.
And, okay, I know why. Okay, I don't know why the air elemental's not working properly. There we go, I think I fixed it. Okay, it's on the ship now as well. Alright, this Aarakocra, oh, don't tell me the API went down now. I'll fix it up. Alright, this Aarakocra, he flies in straight at Norin and tries to just jam a javelin into you. He does a dive attack. And he misses you. His javelin clings off of your shield. This Aarakocra also dives at Thomas. Javelin first. He misses. And then they're just sort of fluttering around on the deck of the ship. Another one dives in at Rend. He too tries to stick you with a javelin. Miss. This Aarakocra flies in at Roderick with a dive attack. Miss. Another one. He circles back and then he comes in for a dive attack at Than. And miss. Rand, you're up.
We'll go ahead and rage. And then I'm gonna reckless attack the guy right next to me.
That hits. You cut through the Aarakocra and a bloodied avian corpse disappears into the clouds below.
Alright, then we'll move up to the next one and hit that guy right below me there.
That hits. And you cut down another Aarakocra. Its bloodied body hits the deck. You look over and you see Delsophine's limbless torso sitting at Norin's feet, and one of his arms is kind of slung over this side of the ship, and the other arm is slung over this side of the ship, and it still kind of looks like he was about to do his like pose as well, so his arms are still in that pose.
And then I've already used my bonus. So.
This Aarakocra dives in at Norin. Miss. Roderick.
I will just slowly and pick up this top corner guy first.
It's a miss. There's a bit of turbulence that knocks the ship to the side, and you miss as well, Roderick, because of that. It's the ship's fault that you missed. You swing again. Bah! Squawks. Feathers go flying in the air, and you hear crunching of bones.
My ship, you stupid birds. The third with the dread ambusher.
You spin the quarterstaff around again, poof, pluck it straight into the Aarakocra, and he's launched off the side of the ship. The fire elemental's there with its fiery hands on this cage, like, let me at him, but he's trapped inside. He shouldn't even be an initiative. Than, you're up.
I think I'm going to cast Bless. Yeah, I'll do Bless. I will do it at 3rd level and get everybody.
That's
Alright.
nice.
Bless for all. Make sure you click on that bless thingy so you don't
Thank you.
forget.
And bonus action, I will put the help on the elemental here. Help action on that sucker. And then I think that's all you can do. Say a quick
Norin.
prayer to my God.
I'm not too worried about the Aarakocra. I am worried about the elementals though, so let's move like that. I'll take opportunity attacks from both of them.
They both thrust javelins at you,
They
and
both hit.
they cross their javelins in unison, hitting you for 12 piercing damage.
Alright.
They say.
And we'll start attacking the air elemental.
That's a hit. And despite its windy form, it's very tangible as you jam the trident into it and slice a ribbon of air out of it.
Do that again.
That hits. And a little bit more air escapes it.
I'll make sure to put my unwavering mark on it. And then go ahead and do bonus action second wind. Get that health back. Let's turn that back at full. And that's my turn.
Thomas.
Now, I'm gonna try to put these guys to sleep. I don't know if they'll fall or not, but oh, I can't drag hypnotic pattern out.
I get it for you. 30-foot cube. This isn't a cube template, but just fill in the edges.
Yeah, we'll go there. See if I can get these guys to fall.
You drop a hypnotic pattern in the air. The swirling patterns just flood the entire area. What's your DC?
17.
This Aarakocra becomes incapacitated and his speed is reduced to 0. He falls 500 feet. And he's out of sight. He's just gone beneath the cloud cover. And the other Aarakocra is not affected. The air elemental makes a wisdom saving throw. Still whispering. Alright, it gets a 5. And it does not fall, but it does become incapacitated. Charmed.
Oh,
That's good.
cool. Alright, and yeah, that's
Okay, I think I know why the air elemental is set to whisper. It's got duplicate character sheet. Okay, the air elemental just hovers there where it is. Doesn't fall, doesn't move, doesn't do anything. But it does speak. Just sounds like swirling wind coming from its mouth. This Aarakocra is going to throw its javelin at the balloon.
oh,
And the balloon is missed. The javelin just bounces straight off and disappears into the cloud below. This Aarakocra is going to shake the air elemental awake.
oh damn.
And then he's going to fly up and in and plant himself on the deck of the ship. This Aarakocra is going to hurl a javelin at the balloon. And the dragon-hide balloon resists the javelin. Another javelin just bounces straight off of it. This Aarakocra, die of attack at Norin. Miss. This guy, he falls 500 feet. And it's going to take him a while, but he's going to hit the ground eventually. And he's going to hit the ground at terminal velocity. So let's just take him out of the equation now. This Aarakocra is going to fly in. He's going to dive attack. He's going to come back a little bit, swoop around, and then, like a torpedo, dive in at Thomas. Javelin first. It hits.
I'll shield.
Okay. Aarakocra slams back off of your shield and plants its clawed feet on the deck of the ship. Delphephine's just like a torso and a head with no limbs. And he just says, "Ha!" with his last breath. The air elemental moves up and it does its whirlwind on Norin. Norin, make a strength saving throw. Should not whisper this time. Great, it doesn't. Alright, Norin, you make the saving throw. So you take 7 bludgeoning damage. You're not flung away and you're not knocked prone. That's it. It just starts battering you with the air. Surprisingly, it feels like you guys know these elementals quite well. Maybe from a past life. This Aarakocra is going to... It's like they're like in melee now. Planting their clawed feet on the ground. They just look like, you know, eagle-headed humanoids. And reels back with his javelin and tries to stab Than. Miss. They have a certain level of anger and hate with each stab. This one tries to javelin Roderick. And he catches you for 6 piercing damage, Roderick.
Oh no.
Rand. That's a hit. And you cut down another Aarakocra. Hits the deck, dead. That's a hit. You swing again, you catch a few feathers, but you don't quite cut the Aarakocra down this time. That hits. You bring down the axe. And then he hits the railing. And you just grab him by his feathers and throw him off the ship, Ren. And also, Ren, I can't hear you if you're speaking. I think you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. All right, and then I'll move right here, and end my turn.
Alright, despite the Aarakocras being cut down in troves, they don't stop to retreat or fight. They just keep stabbing away repeatedly. And oh, were you reckless, Ren?
Yes, I was.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's alright. I thought you were. The Aarakocra just tries to attack you. Miss. They're not that great at fighting, these guys. They're obviously losing. Roderick.
We'll use a hunter's mark. And the dude next to me. And tell him to get off my ship.
And you just hit him for 6. Smack him straight off the side of the ship. He goes overboard.
You too.
And, well, you literally hit him for 6. 6 bludgeoning damage. It's not enough to kill him. Damn.
Technically, since it's a 6, he has to go over the boundary.
I will. Yeah, I guess I'll just attack the. No, I'll just toll the dead on him, actually. The one that's damaged.
He lets out a loud squawk. All of his feathers fall out from his arms, and his head just tilts back. Starts spasming out on the deck.
And I'll put the help action on this guy here. Again. And I guess I'll end my turn.
Norrin.
Alright, first attack on the air elemental.
That hits.
Re-up the mark.
Whoops.
Oh.
Nice. Good hit.
I hit it really hard.
Alright, he's hurting.
Okay, let's go ahead and try that again.
Another hit. You slice through it some more. Feel it
Jeez.
start to weaken. More air escapes from it.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and action charge. Might as well do it. We'll keep going.
That hits. He saw this elemental just fling a cultist off and rip another one's arms clean off effortlessly.
I'm like swirling the trident around inside of it, like I'm trying to roll up spaghetti.
That's another hit. And the air elemental is kind of shrunk down now. It's just like letting out all these howls, as you can see, like more visible air just spilling out from it as well.
Alright. That'll be my turn.
Thomas.
Alright. These two guys that are still flying out here, they were attacking the balloon.
Yeah, these guys are throwing some javelins at the balloon.
Makes me nervous. I'm gonna twin firebolt at them. And I'll use Tides of Chaos on the first one.
Imagine a fireball on this ship from Thomas.
Oh god, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, please don't cast spells. Please don't cast spells.
Alright, that doesn't quite take out the Aarakocra. It hits him hard and he starts to spin around in this fiery whirlwind. Same with that Aarakocra. They're both quite badly injured.
Alright.
This air elemental starts slamming into the gondola. And what was the damage threshold? 10. You hear like the sound of splintered wood as it crashes into the gondola once. Oh wait, its AC is 13. Miss. And it tries to slam into the gondola again. Alright, this time you hear the sound of splintered wood and it tilts the ship from side to side slightly. The air elemental is just bludgeoning itself into the side of the ship repeatedly. Alright, this Aarakocra screeches and he flies up to the top of the balloon. So he's like, I'll just move him up here, but he's like, you can't see him. He's on the other side of the balloon atop now and doing all sorts of stuff to your balloon. You can't even imagine what he's doing. They're up there. And I'll show you guys the diagram again. Remember there's a rope ladder on the side of the balloon, but they're on the exact opposite side of it. Where is that diagram? You can see it in the handout on the left. They're up at where the crow's nest is, slashing away at the balloon, trying to tear a hole through it. This Aarakocra is going to try and attack you with a javelin, Norin. Miss. The air elemental spins itself up in a whirlwind again. Norin, make a strength saving throw. You resist again, digging your greaves into the deck to make sure you're not thrown overboard. You take 5 bludgeoning damage. And that's it. Doesn't do any damage to the ship or anything, the gondola or anything like that.
Doesn't each creature doesn't hit its allies also?
It's only Norin. Only Norin's in its space. There, and the fire.
Oh, it has to be. Oh, right.
Yeah. And the fire elemental has cover, so it's not getting hit because it's in the furnace. Rend.
So if I move right here, can I hit that air elemental that's right there?
Yep, he's like right next to the ship, just
So we're gonna
on the square below you.
Reckless and try to great weapon master him.
That hits. Alright, you swing the axe down and slice through it.
Yeah, leave my ship alone. Do it again.
And another hit. You feel yourself blessed. Your axe is guided towards the elemental. Another big cleave through it. And it looks kind of a bit displaced now. This Aarakocra, meanwhile, is gonna just try and stab you with a javelin, Ren. And he hits you for 2 piercing damage.
I don't notice.
Roderick.
I'm gonna attempt climbing up the top.
Okay. So,
Man.
climbing up onto the crow's nest. It is an acrobatics check. I think it's acrobatics or athletics. Wait, I'm trying to find where it actually says that now. Yeah. So, the airship's balloon is made from dragon hide. Top of the balloon is a crow's nest. It's reached by crawling up the rope on the outside of the balloon. Requires a DC 10 athletics or acrobatics check. If the check fails, no progress is made. If it fails by 5 or more, you fall.
Okay. I think I will guidance myself. I'll do a right thing. Muradin, please help me. And yeah. Well, which side was it on?
It
Go, you
doesn't matter
guy
which side.
pirate.
The closest side is better. How much do
And
you?
Radix. That was 10 feet for
Alright,
from there to there.
you start climbing up. The balloon is 30 feet tall, so it takes you 60 feet to get up there. So you've got 10 feet left this turn. 15 feet. Alright, you make it 10 feet up, we'll say. So you still got 50 feet. Well, 20 feet to go, which is 40 feet of movement.
Sure. And I can't see the bird yet.
No, not from this angle. Fan. Maybe I'll make an extra side-on balloon little map section here. We can see Roderick making his way up. He's making progress.
Getting there. No, I'm
It's-
like hanging out above nothing.
It's Mars.
It's a bit smaller. It's the red planet. I'll move the Aarakocra up there. So they're like that. That's a good scale. Alright, Toll the Dead on Air Elemental.
Yep.
It makes a wisdom save. And it fails. And it becomes weak. More air escapes it. It shrinks down and it's close to being destroyed. Banished.
I will attack with a spiritual or bonus action spiritual weapon on it.
That's a miss. And it also has cover from the angle that you're at, Dan, but it's a miss anyway.
All right. Do I have to click it? Does that cast it? Because it doesn't really cast until I click or hit the
Yeah, it won't do the spell slot until you do damage, so you could just click it if you want.
and I will end my turn.
Norin.
Alright. The Aarakocra are starting to get on my nerves. Even though they're not really hitting me. So I'm gonna go for this guy first.
It's a miss.
Try it again. Oh my god. Maybe I should have just went for there.
The air elemental focuses its energy on you, Norin, and just keeps your arm in place as you're trying to hit the Aarakocra.
Alright, that was a bad turn.
Thomas.
Alright. Come up here. I look over the railing and see they have a clear shot at their.
Yeah, from the edge you can see him clearly.
Shot burn. And I say it again. Oh, sorry. I only meant to do it once.
The firebolt slams into the elemental, creating a little mini mid-air whirlwind of fire, and you can see many tendrils of air escaping it. It's about to completely unravel.
Alright, that's it.
The air elemental continues trying to slam into the gondola repeatedly, and it reels back, crashes into the gondola. The entire airship shakes. A few bits of splintered wood go flying off into the air as it hits again. Gondola's not too badly damaged though. Alright, these Aarakocra continue just clawing into the balloon. And same thing, using their talons, rip into the balloon some more. The Aarakocra riposts you with its javelin, Norin, and he misses you. Alright. The air elemental,
Whirlwind.
it does not whirlwind to you again.
Okay.
This time it just tries to slam itself into you a couple of times. Misses. And it brings itself around, focuses itself into a little tornado.
I'm gonna use my reaction to do a warding maneuver.
Okay. And as that tornado darts towards you, cleave it away with your sword. Miss.
Trident.
Sword trident.
Whatever.
It's spaghetti.
Javelin. Yeah. You just stick the trident into it and turn it into a big coil of spaghetti, Norin. So you got the air elemental coiled up on your trident. The Aarakocra says in Orin, "Don't you touch my spaghetti!"
Going to reckless attack the air elemental.
That hits. As you swing at the air elemental, Rend, the air elemental gets cleaved into two, and the Aarakocra next to you has a tear rolling down its eye. And the Aarakocra then grabs onto one of the tendrils of air, and as the air elemental is banished back to its native plane, the Aarakocra goes with it. And they just sort of spun away into a little portal of wind, completely disappear.
Alright, in that case, I'll run over here and hit that other elemental.
Hit.
And then use my bonus for my last attack.
And another hit. You slice through it a couple more times, the elemental's almost gone. Alright, Roderick, it'll take your dash action to get up there. It's about 25
Is that two
feet.
separate checks, or is it?
No, you made the check once. If you really want to, you can make it again. It's up to you.
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm happy to take
Yeah. So
right on my previous successes.
you'll
If I went halfway up, would I be able to see them?
yeah. You could go well, you'd go another 10 feet, so yeah. Get up to like this square.
Right. Because then I can cast a guiding bolt,
Okay.
I believe. At I suppose the closest one.
Alright, so you get up around the corner of the curvature of the balloon just enough to see the Aarakocra. You send the guiding bolt over towards it and it just turns it into a puff of blood and golden feathers.
So get off my ship.
Fan.
I don't have control of the spiritual weapon, but move down to attack the air elemental.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
That hits. The dove slams into the elemental, cutting a hole through it.
And I will toll the dead on him.
And the air elemental then shrinks down, vanishing in a similar manner to the other one. And the Aarakocra reaches out, and the Aarakocra is taken away with the air elemental. Norin. There's just the one Aarakocra left on top of the ship.
Yeah, I can't really. I'm not gonna be able to get up there.
Alright, it actually just takes off. It's just gonna fly away. Anyway.
Was the one that died on the deck? Are they beyond help?
No.
Spare to the dying?
Yeah, you can spare some of them.
No, not the. I meant our crew. One of the crew.
Oh.
Oh no, he's dead.
Dead.
The Delphine, he's got no arms and no
Arms
legs.
or legs.
Oh,
Really is.
oh wow.
The torso.
All right then.
He got
How
instantly killed on impact from the elemental.
how many Aarakocra javelins are laying about on the deck at this point? That's how we'll pick them all up.
7.
Okay. Alright, I have a grand total of 20 javelins now.
You got the bug.
Well,
Been there, man. I've been there.
I mean, the thing is with javelins, I mean, there's definitely a finite amount. You can't carry 60 in a up to 60 in a quiver or anything
No,
like that.
but you can store as many as you want. We got bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing saying that you can't have.
What happened?
800.
3 cultists run up. We've got no idea
Well-
what just happened.
Been promoted.
Yep.
Well,
Some chicken people attacked. us.
Congratulations.
Oh!
some Aarakocra that you conveniently forgot to tell us about, that you had tangled with in the past. They came to exact revenge.
Alright. Nizaroth and Trout are just shaking their head, but Ariscus, your words fall on deaf ears when you speak to him, Norin. He runs over to Delphinine's corpse. It's just a body and a head. Arms and legs ripped clean off. And he holds it. And he screams, "No!" And he starts shaking the torso around like crazy.
This
Oh wow. I thought they must have been in love.
Look, you pull yourself together. He'd want you to be able to say, "Huh," and fly the.
I told him after we did everything for cloth, we could. I had things planned out that we would do together. Maybe rob a little hamlet. You know, get some gold. Take some prisoners. Sacrifice them, see them out together. But now, our future's gone.
Sorry for your loss.
Told him to just quit while he's ahead.
He did quit, and he is just dead.
You're right.
With
Nor
no
just kind of, hey man.
on Valentine's Day too, of all days. It's tragic. Just tragic.
Sever the head from the torso and say, "There, he quit while he's in."
How do we repair the ship again?
What do you mean, how do we repair the ship? Delphine is dead!
The ship has to take a long rest.
What do you... He picks up Delphine's corpse under one arm. You're monsters, all of you! As he like yells at you guys, dangling around this torso under his arm.
I looked at this guy. Hey, can you can fly, you and that one. You can fly the ship, just you two, all right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
I can't live anymore! Not without Delphine!
Oh, no.
Ah!
Don't do it.
Jumps overboard with
Oh jeez.
Delphine.
No, one of us could go after him.
No.
Nah.
Full damage caps at. what
Bye!
is it,
And Trout
20d6?
waves.
I mean, there was a 100% chance of them dying when they fell off a 60-foot cliff. If they're falling from 500 feet, I think
We're like thousands of feet up. You just fall 500 feet around.
Yeah.
I mean, we
And-
could jump off after him and ask him if he's changed his mind.
Yeah, he just Romeos it. Just jumps off the edge of the ship.
Just dive bomb and
Now, revivify from the hands.
revivify. Exactly.
The arms that are still here.
Alright. Trout just shrugs his shoulders. Puh, weak. Where to next? And that's where we'll end today's session.
Just curious though, how do we repair the ship when it's damaged? Like, for real? How is it possible?
One
So,
of our cultist friends has to do it, I think.
Well, no, anyone, like, you could take it into a dry dock or anywhere that can repair a ship. Repairing 1 hit point of damage to either the balloon or the gondola takes 1 day and costs 20 gold pieces.
Holy cow.
What if I cast mending over and over again?
It can repair superficial damage, but can't restore hit points.
Okay.
So you said 1 hit point per day?
Yes, so you
And
need.
it lost like what, 20 something?
Jeez.
Yeah, you're gonna have it in the shop for a while. But you assess the damage. The gondola is not too badly damaged. The balloon's got a few scratches on it, but yeah, not too bad. You would definitely survive more attacks like that without having to get it repaired.
The longer we wait to get it repaired, though.
High the risk. Yeah, would it be
more expensive and more downtime.
Yeah.
and when we get inside, we can send them off to try to get it repaired. Maybe.
We ended on a good Valentine's-y sort of theme there too, so
I mean,
quite happy about that.
Definitely.
I'd feel worse about them jumping over like that, but they're definitely evil, so I don't feel that bad.
Yeah, you guys feel that these Aarakocra were probably, they must have done something pretty bad to the Aarak. Well, they did. They literally said they slaughtered. They're like killing Aarakocra. So
Yeah.
I mean, we defended ourselves. I mean,
We need to repaint the ship too.
Yeah, I'm less
we
concerned
did
about.
the side.
For me, it's less about feeling bad that he jumped over and more about being concerned our reserve of cultists is running low to fly this.
True.
yeah,
Well,
you
we
can learn how to fly it still. Maybe
Yeah, well,
Delphinine's
they-
not so not so naive. Maybe Trout, the new captain, will teach you.
I thought Trout's the one that jumped overboard.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter
I
what
don't know.
they're.
I'm confused.
The names don't
Cultist
matter.
A, Cultist
Why would you
B.
argue that? Just say
Two of them.
KK. Sounds good.
Two of them
Room
are
number
named
4.
No, Trout is
Pulling up
the
the
new
fucking-
captain, and then you've got Nizroth. So you've got Cultus in the back pocket if you need it. You want on the helm. They
Nizroth was the one that was into weird things.
they just finished changing into their new red-colored dragon robes, red shirts underneath. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys very much. Good night, all.
Have a good one.
But
Bye, everyone. Good night. Bye bye. Au revoir. Happy Valentine's Day.